Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail, and it seems kind of surreal at this point. We're about to start Act 4 of Amphoreus, and what's so crazy about starting Act 4 is that while I know this is a long series of stories in Amphoreus, and we're taking our time with everything, we're pacing ourselves, it does feel like, in a way, we're, like, I don't know how to say it, like, we're kind of, like, weirdly, it both feels like it's been a long epic so far, while also at the same time, too, it feels like it's flown by, right? It feels like it's just yesterday we came here with Don Hong on that tram, but it also at the same time, too, feels like we've been through a lot, right? There's, like, this weird feeling about it where, like, it feels like an epic journey, but it's been so, in my opinion, so smooth in terms of writing that I just, like, haven't even felt, like, any fatigue, which I think is there's a chest over here, which is really good. I think that's like a testament to how good the writing is in this game, is the fact that I can feel like I've been on that epic journey while also not feeling tired. You know what I mean? There's no feeling of tiredness from this. Yeah, we're using the Luca Adventuring Kafka Sampo team a lot. It just makes sense because they are really powerful against Black Tide members, this team is. And that's kind of like how I've always played RPGs. Like, for me, it's like, okay, what team do I need for this moment? You know, it's the same thing if you're playing, like, Pokemons, like if you play Pokemons, you're going to have to be like, oh, I'm going to pick water versus, fire, water versus rock, Not that I'm the best strategist, for sure. Collect your thoughts is a crazy, well, you could do this before though, right? But you could sit on the edge of the thing. Thanatos and Cersei's core flames have been returned. That's 2. It's crazy that we got 2 in one go. Sometime after that. The 12 constellations hover above, overlooking the vortex of Genesis. There's only 2 left? Whoa! They embody the 12 Amphorean deities, fate, foundation, creation, and the calamity of this world. Now 10 among them have fallen. Their core flames return to the origin of Genesis. So Aquila is 1, right? And I forget what the other one is. Above you, constellations shimmer, their brilliance echoing faint slumber of each titan. I forget I know Aquila is 1 for sure, right? Aquila's 1. And you have experienced 4 ascensions and 4 partings. That's what's so crazy about this. It's like there's 4 ascensions, 4 partings. It's such a great way to put it. We have had 4 people leave us. Anaxagoras, Trian, Castorus, Midamos. Amphoreus has no fear with making you say goodbye to characters, even though they're going to show up again. I feel like it's kind of like, when a character leaves a TV show but they show up for cameos sometimes. It's still sad, you know what I mean? But it's like, at least you get to see them sometimes, Hopefully we get to see Castorus every now and then in terms of like some sort of cameo or, emotional moment. Oh, wow. Interesting. Strife. Wait, so is this... Do you think that this was put here because the story is so long? They probably wanted like a little bit of recap, I guess. Yeah, so Aquila's one of them, right? I can check the other symbol when we go into the vortex thing there as well. Sorry, I'm blanking on it. It's just like, I know I'd get it wrong if I said it. So Strife. The Lands of Fury once became the Mad King, plunging the world into a ceaseless strife until your valor brought it to an end. And its demigod successor, the undying Midamos, chose to bear the title of Kremnos alone, returning home to be crowned as the last line of defense for the holy city. What a freaking lovely dude. Maide, may your battles know no defeat. It's so crazy as well because what they've done really well with this whole Amphoreus arc is what they do well in every arc, in my opinion, which is they've made Stell make friends in a new world, and it almost feels like an inseparable connection now, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, Midamos is our friend. He's our friend forever. The same way I'd look at, like, no, obviously not in different levels, but like, you look back at Firefly and like how we look at the people in Balabog. I think Hoyo in general are really good at writing friendships, 110%. They're really good at that. Time. Back then, the incarnation of time entrusted Mem to you at the Temple of the Three Fates. Back then, the lively girl with red hair fulfilled her mission and bid first farewell. Such a sad story. Time speaks not of fairness, yet it never stops, and now this power resides in your hands. I feel like out of the 4 departures, this was like the most... This is the most sad, not because the other ones weren't sad, but because this one felt like the most, I think they're all a little bit unfair, but this felt the most unfair. You know what I mean? It felt like really unfair. See you tomorrow. What are you doing? It's like the first 5 minutes. You're trying to kill me? What are we doing? Reason. So this is the lovely man himself, Anaxagoras. Not long ago, the head of the Grove Sages helped you repel the menace of the Black Tide. And still not long past, that truly unruly scholar staged one grand performance, granting you a glimpse of this world's truth at the cost of his life. Oh, the incarnation of reason, have you found your answer at the end of existence? Then we have death. The prophecy once made the hand of shadow choose 2 people, granting one the fate of death, yet their bond wove a hauntingly beautiful tale that stretched across time. At the end of the incarnation of death, who journeyed from Netherrealm to living world, chose to remain in the sea of flowers, retrieving your future. Yep, she saved our lives. At the end of the west wind, we shall meet again, Casterus. It can't be like overstated. These are like 4 friends that we've lost on this journey. This journey is huge. It has like this feeling of like you don't like. It honestly feels, you know, nobody is safe. You know what I mean? Nobody is safe. And I don't need in a story for like people to die to have consequences, people to leave to have consequences, by the way. I think consequences also mean trauma. It also means pain. It also means losing someone. Right now we have March 7th, who is just not here right now with us. And that is like, to me, like a big consequence of like, you know, the game's story. But I think it goes, you know, stands to reason that like it's a terrifying thing that like, you know, this journey is being built up as something that is so dangerous that anything could happen at any time. And it's interesting to me because like out of all of these, like they all bring different feelings. But we said last time when it came to Anaxagoras, and I said this like in the video and I said this in the Patreon chats, to me, Anaxagoras' goodbye felt like, I felt at peace. I felt more at peace than the other ones. It was the first one I didn't cry, mostly just because I was like, man, like I feel like he did everything he wanted to do in life. He felt fulfilled. He as I said, it kind of felt like a retirement party. It kind of felt like we were like, you know, he got the watch. He's going off, you know, to another place. Yeah. Time and again, farewells have numbed you. You can't help but wonder how many more goodbyes will the journey of trailblazing entail. You question whether you'll be able to express each goodbye with heartfelt emotion. This is so introspective and such an interesting question Sal's asking herself. So interesting, because it's not just asking like, you know, how many more times will I have to do this. It's am I like, will I be able to like express to these people that I cared about them before they go? Because that's a regret that everyone has, right? Your thoughts sink into the ocean. Recall how the Amphoreus cherish epics, using stories to soothe their sorrows. Perhaps you should embrace this way to dispel your melancholy and regain your strength. Let it begin. The countless words of adventure surge to your mind. You need only to grasp just one to anchor your creation. We're creating an epic in our mind? Don't be influenced by noise outside. Just focus on the key word in your mind. It is indeed difficult. We should cling tightly to your inspiration, weaving heartfelt and elegant verses. Is that her phone? Alright, this is an impossible task. Just one glance at your phone and won't disrupt your thoughts, or so you tell yourself. This is so freaking true. It's so, like, for me, like, sometimes, like, I don't do it as much now because now I do early videos, so I have to, like, make sure to get the videos up early, you know? But I remember before I'd be like, okay, I gotta edit this video. Maybe I'll put on, like, this thing in the background. Maybe I'll, like, get a cup of tea. You know what I mean? And I always get the videos out on time, but now that I'm doing videos early, like, you know, procrastinating is just not like a thing. I'm like, maybe no, you won't. Get those videos up on Patreon and YouTube members. Get them right now. Oh, Cipher. Interesting. Grey mystery. I have had zero time for treasure hunting the last time I was in Sixia. Absolutely huge loss. Now the River of Souls has mostly retreated. I'm back, baby. There's a big shiny chest in the water. I can't use a miracle orb and can't wade through. Your power is 10 times needed? We can do a 70-30 slip. 30 for you and 70 for me? I'm coming. You can have whatever slip you want. Chest, I'll be there right away. Quickly. Quickly. Hurry. Oh, very cute. We get to hang out with Cipher. That's awesome. You must admit that some people still manage to live joyfully at this arduous low point of life. Cipher's endless desires or wealth seems more turbulent than the water of the scale, Lord's water's gate. What a reference. Forget the past for now. They only bring sorrow, but sadness has no place in this moment. What you need is to drive to move forward. You decide to head to Styxia, where the River of Souls is no longer blocked, to meet up with the cat girl. Hopefully those glittering, clinking trinkets, as always, will lift your spirits. Yep, we're gremlins. Oh, we're going right there? Interesting.
Oh, Styxia's moonlight is so
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's really gorgeous. It has like a less of a dangerous feel to it now, I feel, now that everything's happened. But yeah, like I think that it's such an interesting thing, because we've been dropped into Amphoreus, right? We've been dropped into this whole story and this epic story. And I think it's so interesting to have like a Stell be introspective and think about, how does she feel about this? How has this made me feel? Will I feel anything? Will I ever be numb to this? And then also at the same time too, I think it's important to note when it comes to like the characters in the story and the characters in Amphoreus, they have their own ways of coping as well. And we've seen that throughout time too. So Stella's trying to like, I think kind of like get stronger in a way, while also still trying to understand her own emotions, you know?
And the River of Souls is so quiet. It's like everything that happened was just a dream. I wonder if Cass is doing okay on the other side.
Oh, ma'am.
If I write a letter and put it in a drift bottle, will she be able to read it?
Possibly. I miss casters too. Now is not the time to feel down. I mean, I think there's always time to feel down.
No, this shouldn't be so depressing.
Oh, Stell's saying that because she legitimately, like, is feeling this too.
Now's not the time to feel down. We gotta pull ourselves together.
This music, man.
It was Miss Cipher who asked us to come here. But where has she gone?
Whoa.
Huh?
What was the sound?
I don't know. This aura feels so familiar.
This aura?
Let's go check it out together. Be very careful.
Sure.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful place. I was gonna be like, hey man, why didn't they change the music to be more like warm ever since, you know, but it's not the casters took over Styxia. It was the Sea of Souls, right? In a lot of ways. And what's so interesting as well is that like she didn't say like, oh, I'm gonna make Styxia and the Sea of Souls beautiful and pretty. It's still a place of death, right? And she wants to make it warm despite the insurmountable feeling of death here, right? 100%. Speaking of warmth, gorgeous stuff here. The path to Neverland was ever lonely. Was this here before? I feel like I would have stopped to look at this, but then again, in yesterday's video, I didn't even notice Phainon was standing right beside me, so I don't know what's happening with me, guys. You know what I blame? Society. Society should have told me. What's that? So what are we doing with this sound, this aura?
Hey, what's that on the ground? Should we pick it up?
Is it a calling card?
Careful, careful.
Look at them.
It's a piece of black cloth.
Flame Reaver.
Now where have I seen
We
this
know exactly
before?
we've seen it before. It's the Flame Reaver. Can I say like that this is such a powerful way they've done this? It's almost like hearing I don't know, like, you know, like in a horror movie, like, but see, it's for them though. And it's almost like in a horror movie, like when you have that signifier that the killer is near, you know what I mean? It's such a very powerful way now of being like, oh my god, he was here.
What? How could they be
It's terrifying.
here?
Absolutely terrifying. They're doing such a fantastic job of building this. What? He's here? What? He's right here? No freaking way. He's just standing there. Get ready. Yeah, no, we gotta.
We both know what this
We
thing
do,
can
but like, what can we do?
Let's try our best to deal with them for now, and we'll slip into the past with time's power as soon as we can.
This is insane. Why is he doing it here right now? What did he do here before we got here? Oh.
Is full of fish.
What?
Big and delicious.
No. Is he saying he's gonna eat the frickin' souls in the River of Souls?
What?
The flame chase journey stops.
So he doesn't want this flame chase journey to continue, but it's also like interesting that he's back again in this ramped up way, like just all of a sudden after we decided to keep the flame chase journey going.
Meow, meow.
Meow meow. What the hell's happening?
Meow?
What? Meow meow. What? What the hell is happening? No. No. How? 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 How?
Sorry, I couldn't pass
Cipher!
a chance to give you two a good scare.
Cipher! That is not... I just want to say I adore Cipher. I adore Cipher. But she has minus tact. She has minus tact with that type of joke. When he said meow, my first thought process went to like, I wonder if, like, I know this is weird, but like I was thinking like, you know, RPG stories. I wonder if before when he was like a kid, he had a pet cat. And that's what's like he's always thinking about, you know, and his cat died in the war. You know, I was like thinking of all these things. Like, why is he saying meow meow? Cipher, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Don't run! I'm the real Cipher. Real.
Like, I think she's hilarious, but that's like minus tact.
Come on, don't be upset. I'm just giving you a kind reminder that Amphoreus isn't safe at all. The whole place is full of dangers, including that swordmaster. Make sure you stay on your toes, no matter where you
I mean, that's fine. I totally get the idea of like reminding us that things are dangerous. But I think the reminder that things are dangerous is the fact that we just sat down and talked about, you know, 4 people having to move on. But then also, like, you know, if you think about like what happened to Trian, like I don't think we're ever gonna forget the Flame Reaver. I don't think the Flame Reaver is ever gonna be forgotten. 100%. Yeah. So you're playing both good cop and bad cop.
Hey, I'm just making it up to you. You'd do the same in my shoes.
Again, I adore Cipher. Cipher, this is the craziest prank anyone has ever pulled. Legitimately. Let me pretend to be the guy that almost killed you and is responsible for, like, what happened to, well, kind of, you know, what happened to Trian. I know that she's not thinking that, by the way. I'll make it clear. I don't want to put that on Cipher shows. That's just unfair. You know what I mean? Cipher's not thinking like, oh yeah, this happened to Trian and I'm going to do this. Like, that's unfair. That's 100% unfair to put that on her shoulders. It's actually very cruel, right? 110%. But, like, this prank is crazy.
So, was that a Flame Reaver disguise? Or a magic trick? It looked so real. Is that the power of the trickery demigod?
Oh, maybe. Zagreus?
Disguise? No. It's not as simple as that. Let me think about how to explain this. For example, what did you think when you realized that piece of cloth came from the Flame Reaver's cloak?
My thought process is we gotta be careful.
We thought that maybe the Flame Reaver was around here somewhere?
That's right. And then you heard some footsteps. What did you think when that happened?
Well, we thought it must be the Flame Reaver coming this way.
Yep, exactly. I just used some hints and, mental suggestions to help you believe in a lie.
Okay, so it was because there was like already a mental possibility maybe that we knew what the Flame River could be, and since we found the black cloak and we heard the footsteps, did our brain do the same thing? Did our brain meet you halfway or something?
Lies are what Zagreus is best at. If everyone believes in a lie, then it becomes reality.
See, that's interesting to me. Like, that's what I thought it was like it was kind of again meeting us halfway in the way where like because we believed it to be true, it became true, is what she's saying. That's super interesting that Zagreus can do that. Like, so imagine like if, like, this is maybe a weird example. Let's say like you had like a roommate who was living with you and they left, but you missed them. But they always like, let's say and then you got a new roommate or something, right? And your old roommate would always like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, would always like get a drink of water at 2 a.m. and would be really noisy with the glass, and they would slam the glass on the counter, and then the new roommate does the exact same thing. So your brain goes, oh, he's back. So for like, is it that the way? I don't wonder if that's what it is. It's like, is there something in your brain that triggers it that goes, oh, They're back. The Flame Reaver. Oh, I know this is a crazy. I always have crazy examples, but like, you know what I mean? It's like it's meeting it halfway almost. Like if you believe it, then it becomes easier to trick you, which I think is like, you know, true with a lot of things, right?
Power to make lies into reality. That's got all my hair standing up.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy power. Nice. I know your now I know your secret.
I sure love your arrogance, great mystery. The seamstress trusts you for a reason. Someone as honest as you couldn't trick me even if you wanted to. So, there's no harm in telling you.
And that's interesting too. That's Cipher's mentality. There's no way in hell that Stell would be bad enough to try and trick me or be rude to me or use my power against me. It's weird that like her trust, her trust in Stell and people's trust in Stell also means that like she knows she can play pranks on Stell and tell Stell everything because hey, Stell's not going to do anything bad against me. And in a way, that's kind of like a really beautiful like description of Stell. You know, you can tell Stell your full powers, and that's never going to be used against you.
Besides, we still need to team up to go treasure hunting, right? Let's wrap up here. It's time to get going.
Yeah, crazy, honestly. Honestly, crazy. Oh?
Oh, was that your teleslate?
It's my phone. Oh, Phainon. I got all the pretty people texting me today. Stell, did you rest well? I came during the lucid hour and you seemed asleep, so I didn't wake you up, but I can stay idle in certain circumstances. I feel like it's time to continue our special training. Let's go to the Grove, shall we? Interesting. Praise the sun, which is a really great phrasing. I always think of Dark Souls. So, first of all, very like Prince Charming-esque for Phainon to like be like, I came at the lucid hour, but you seemed asleep. You know? Did you rest well? he's so like Prince Charming in so many ways. He wants to continue our training.
Aren't you a popular one? But I got to you first, so help me with the treasures, and then I'll send you two to the grove.
Okay, so you can get us there really quickly. Can I say though, like, you know, if it came down to a real life choice, I'd love to hang out with both these characters. But after the prank you just made, I think you'd make the choice a tiny bit easier. You know, if I was in real life, like if I'd be here, like, you know, I'd probably be like, okay, you kind of made this easy on me. I'm gonna go hang out with Phainon for a bit. I never noticed the bow in her hair under her hood. It's really, really cute. Why do you need so much money anyway?
Curiosity killed the cat, you know. Do you think I'll spend it all? That's so not why I hunt for treasures.
Curiosity killed the cat, and information made him smarter.
Don't forget, I'm a demigod too. And there's a line reserved for me in that stupid prophecy as well. You shall walk with greed and die over petty
I
cheating.
think that I am maybe misinterpreting this sometimes, but my interpretation of this prophecy was all like, she's trying to get as much money as possible so that she never has only petty change, right? So she's always trying to go for big bucks so she doesn't fulfill the prophecy. But I also think the prophecy could also mean, like, you will die. What it means to me is like you will try to always get all this money and then you will die over something incredibly small. So that's why I always think that maybe she's trying to go for big money all the time, you know?
But I don't believe in that.
Oh yeah?
As long as I keep collecting treasures, then I won't need to care
Yeah,
about
there we go.
petty change. And as long as I don't hurt other people when I get what I want, I won't be walking
Okay.
with greed. Right. Isn't that sick?
Here's the problem with that, is that greed is different for the gods versus humans, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, again, I'm not religious, but I know, like, the Bible, the way the Bible talks about greed, like, if you basically do anything for yourself, basically, the Bible's like, you're going to hell. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, like, maybe, like, the Titans have a different idea of greed. I don't see you as, like, necessarily, like, greedy, but there is, like, a tendency with Cipher that, you know, trying to get the most money out of everything, taking 80% of casters' money, regardless of what you think. If I'm not sitting here saying, oh, that's greedy, because I know that she actually bargained down and made casters only give her, like, a smaller amount. But regardless of what you think, there is an element of, like, well, you know, other people will call Cipher greedy, right? 110%, you know? So I think it's always to do with, like, your own perception. But she's saying if I don't hurt people, I don't think you have to hurt people to be greedy. You know what I mean? You don't have to hurt people. And she confirmed what I was saying though. She's scared. I think she's scared of the prophecy, so she's trying her best to like not do anything to do with the prophecy, and she's doing loopholes with the prophecy. If I have so much money and I always go for big money, I'll never die over petty change.
So, as long as I keep going down this path, all those predestined prophecies and fates will never
That's
catch up
terrifying
to
though,
me.
man. They always have to go after the big bucks constantly just so you don't like fall into the prophecy.
That was a long speech. I'm getting thirsty at this rate. The treasures of Styxia aren't gonna float up on their own. Come on, Grey Mystery.
I love this pose.
Show me what the authority of time can do.
She's really cute. Okay. A few days later at the crash site in the abyss of... Wait, what? This is... Oh, yeah, obviously this is where we start. Lygus?
This is the car of the Astral Express you've spoken of.
Interesting.
My repository of memories has been enriched with another fascinating piece of information. Thank you for leading me here, Lord Dark.
So last time Lygus revealed to Herta that there is a Lord Ravager apparently here in Amphoreus. But also one of the things that like I didn't mention as much, which I probably should have, and someone else pointed it out, is actually that like Lygus kind of like reveals his hand in a way where he's like not just like this kind of like impartial scholarly type. He knows a lot more than we even think, and he's also feels like this gatekeeper to Amphoreus. Like he's way more seriously impactful to the story than we thought. It's interesting here that Don Hong brought him back here, I guess.
I'm surprised a council elder like yourself would be willing to journey so far to inspect the Express.
When Don Hong looks up, like his hair looks super bushy, and it's really cute.
Arcanans hold wisdom and knowledge in high esteem. If the citizens knew of your origins, I'm sure more would be intrigued by the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Sadly, discussions about the world beyond the sky remain taboo.
Yeah, 100%.
It's been
Look at this
quite
image.
some time since you first arrived in Ochema. Presumably, you've been looking for a way to leave ever since.
And what I mean by after last episode, I literally like, it's not that I don't trust Lygus or if I have like this like Lygus is evil. It's more of a thing of just like I think it's okay to be weary of him now, right? It's okay to be weary for sure. Cotton weary.
I've been actively gathering clues and testing different things. Sadly, the more I find out, the more powerless I
Oh yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself, my lord. This puzzle has stumped Amphoreus' scholars for centuries. It isn't something you can solve overnight. Even someone as gifted as yourself.
He is gifted.
In the Grove, I discovered extensive research on the Sky Titan. It appears that many scholars from Amphoreus believe the taboo against the world beyond the sky stems from a curse cast by Aquila.
Exactly. Of the 12 Titans of Amphoreus, Aquila is known for being the most capricious.
We entered the atmosphere here, and Aquila said, "Done." Like she was not playing around.
The weather itself reflects their mood. Tranquil sunshine.
Interesting.
Mournful rain. Aquila's breath is a brisk wind, and their cries resound as thunder in a storm.
When I was a kid, my parents told me that thunder is just God moving furniture around. He's just rearranging his house. You know?
Additionally, Aquila is one of the 2 Titans whose core flames have yet to be returned.
And probably the reason is because they're so dangerous, right?
The sky above affects every citizen. It's clear that Lady Aglaea's decision to confront Aquila at the end of the Flame Chase journey was a carefully considered strategy.
Yeah, she seems the most dangerous to me as well. So like building up as much power and support before you take on Aquila is pretty smart.
If returning Aquila's core flame can break the sky's curse, we won't have to exhaust ourselves searching for a way back. We can simply focus on aiding the Chrysos heirs.
Anti-Catherians have no home to return to, so I understand your concern for your old friends and home
Because they mentioned before that it's kind of like I don't know the full story, so I don't remember the full story, but like his people kind of like are few and far between right now, right?
I used antique Etherean technology, or scanning, as you might call it, to assess this car. Assuming my judgment is correct, I might be able to conduct a thorough overhaul of its power systems.
Yeah?
Really? But
Of course, that's only if you, my lord, permit me to interact with it.
Interesting.
by all means, please, proceed. But be careful. The Express's thrusters are extremely delicate.
I don't even know what's gonna come of this, but I imagine like, you know, he is pretty, you know, he's not, Lygus isn't dumb. So like I imagine something's gonna come out of this, like where we can actually like have a use for this maybe?
You honor me with your trust. I will be very careful.
Lygus carefully scans the damaged propulsion system. The methodology began expecting its components.
This is unbelievable. You seem to understand its structure perfectly. Have you repaired something like this before?
Not exactly, but we antique Ethereans are inherently sensitive to machinery.
Okay.
Carefully endowed our kind with a unique advantage for analyzing and learning.
Interesting. So, Dan Heng obviously notices that he's very, very like good with this stuff.
If you give me some time, I might be able to fully restore this damaged car to its former glory. Then you and your esteemed companion could set off on your return journey sooner.
I mean, that would be very helpful to have the car fixed, right? 110%. It's just that, like, also now, like, I'm noticing a lot of Lygus is like, your esteemed companion. So now, like, I'm so weary. I'm like, maybe?
But isn't the real issue with Aquila?
Yeah.
Hypothetically,
Oh, what are you talking about?
Don Hong, if I could open up a path out of Amphoreus that circumvents Aquila's divine punishment.
He did have, like, he was, like, keeping the gate for her to enter Amphoreus, right? So he is, like, some sort of gatekeeper in some way.
Would you consider ceasing your support for the Flame
Whoa,
Chase?
I think he wants this. I think he wants Stell and Dan Heng to leave.
I don't understand. Does the Council of Elders possess some secret means of counteracting divine punishment?
This is so, I think getting Stell and Dan Heng out of the way is a huge get, right? Like they've changed the tide several times.
It's best if you don't delve
Look at the
too
shot.
deeply into that question, my lord. All you need to know is I can make it
And that's a no, by the way, for me. If someone tells me, don't worry about it, I can do it, it's like, come on. Like, that's a no for me.
Maybe this is not a decision by the Council of Elders, but rather his personal
You should think about this,
wish.
Dan Heng, for sure.
The crucial point is, if you and your companion are unwilling to halt your support for the Chrysos,
Oh my god.
it could offend certain interests.
Your interests? Why are we not in our head right now?
Forgive me, Lord Lygus, but I must be frank. When visiting Dawncloud, I reviewed the records of many council
Oh my god, did you
elders.
expect Dan Heng to do research Lygus?
Among them, only your background was nearly blank. I'd like to accept
Yep,
your
love
goodwill,
it, love it.
but given such a mysterious background and motives, anyone cautious would have doubts.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love this so much. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect because it's exactly what I thought Dan Heng would do. Because when he nodded his head, I was like, is he accepting this? That's not Dan Heng. Dan Heng doesn't do that. Like, he's first of all seeing that, like, again, Lygus has no background, which is huge, right? Compared to, like, everyone else. But then it's also, like, the idea of, like, anyone who says to you, this could go against certain people's interests. It would, you know, if you keep going for the flame chase journey and then like they don't tell you what the interests are, to me then that is like, okay, red flag. 100%.
Your prudence impresses me, just as
you know what I mean? And like if you want to make a deal with me and you're saying like it goes against my interests, then tell me your interests. Tell me what you want. Huh? Huh?
Are these people?
What is this?
Is this a trap? Is that why you accompanied me here?
Please don't misunderstand, Lord Donhong. As the Theoros, I have no
Look at these
allegiance
masks.
to their plans, nor
What?
am I obliged to obstruct them.
Then what are you doing?
I am neutral.
Then what are you doing? Explain.
Out of respect for you, I hope to offer a peaceful solution to ensure the safety of you and your
What are you doing then? Who are... Look at these guys. Oh my god.
One against
Oh
four.
my god, Don. Oh my god. That's the coolest thing you've ever said.
Just to confirm, if things turn ugly later, will you help?
Wait, what?
I will not. As I said, I remain.
No. I want to make this clear here, right? This is... you can't say you're neutral if you knew this was going to happen. You can't say you're neutral if you knew this was going to benefit the Council of Elders and you knew that like whatever's happening here, you knew was going to happen. That's not neutrality. I want to make that clear.
Are you asking this because you plan to refuse my offer and continue supporting the crisis?
Yeah, that's not neutrality. That's not what neutrality is to me.
You weren't wrong about one thing, Lord Lycus. Indeed, we must try to return to our companions. But our companions now also include the
Yes,
flame-chasing
Donhong.
Chrysoceres. The Nameless cannot and will not ignore the
Oh
fate
my
of our
god, you've no
companions.
idea who you've cornered here. This is Mr. Fateful himself, Don Hung.
So I see. This is what you call trailblazing.
Getting Don Hung out of the way and whatever's happening here will benefit the Council of Elders versus the Chrysoceres. To me, that's not neutrality. That is making an effort to change the fate or the tides of this thing as well. Like it's like removing someone from like a project. Like you will detriment the project. Look at these
When I
masks.
asked if you'd help, I meant the ones who need help.
Oh my god, Donog. What the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? Huh? Is Phainon fighting? Oh, he's training. Flame Reaver? Wait, just... What? The Flame Reaver's there? What is happening?
You have such overwhelming powers.
What is happening? He's just here right now?
Answer me. Why do you stand in her way? Why do you want to take the core flames?
Oh no! He can't hold on anymore!
What?
Drag him back here, friend!
How is Mem here? Do we already get done with the toughest stuff at Cipher? Maybe. I think we're already finished with Cipher. Guys, what is happening? Okay, I think we're already done with Cipher.
Okay?
And we came here to train. So this is probably just a training thing he was doing against something to do with the Flame Reaver, maybe? Guys, what just happened with Don Hong? To me, it was some people that followed Lygus, because I've never seen those people before, showed up as soon as he refused to not abandon the Chrysoceres. Now, what his idea of neutrality is, in terms of Lygus, is I'm trying to Because it seemed like he was saying like it to me like it's in your best interest to not go against the Chrysoseirs and other people's special interests. But taking Dan Heng away from the Chrysoseirs is legitimately benefiting the Council of Elders over the Chrysoseirs, right? That to me that stops being neutral in my opinion. And I understand like what he means by neutral is like I'm actually like not trying to benefit either side. I'm just trying to benefit like what your best interests are and what the sort of special interest is. But like to me, I think all of us would see like it's like if there's two football teams and you're saying I'm neutral to two teams, but then you ask one of the members of the team to leave, one of the best members of the team, hey, get out of there. You're not playing on this side. Don't worry, I'm still supporting both sides. You did benefit the other side. Even if you don't see it as like, oh, I'm doing it to benefit the other side, it will benefit the other side. And I think that's one of the things that like, does happen sometimes with neutrality. It's like, I'm neutral, but I also let planes dock here in my country, even though we're neutral. During war times, you can use our country to dock here. It's like, that's not, unless you let both countries dock here, it's not neutral. That's not neutrality to me. But something like for some reason, Dan Heng said, and I loved it by the way, an amazing moment with Dan Heng, like he's so freaking cool, not abandoning the Chrysoseirs. He literally said, call an ambulance, but not for me. That's freaking amazing. He said, yo, will you help? No, I didn't mean for me. So sick. But as soon as he said he wasn't going to abandon the Chrysoseirs, all these guys showed up. So that makes me think that Lygus has them working for him, because we've never seen them before. Cool masks, but we're going to have to learn more about that as well. And I don't want to make an assertion on Lygus's neutrality fully. I'm just saying that, like, what would happen if he does something that removes Dan Heng and Stel from the Chrysoseirs? That means that the Council of Elders gets a bonus. That means that one side is more benefited than the other then. It doesn't seem neutral to me. But then again, I'm not saying that he has to be fully pure neutral, because characters are complicated and interesting and dynamic and all this stuff. So I'm not going to judge his motives until I understand what his motives are. But the fact that if he has already sicked these people on Dan Heng, he's already in my bad books. It's over. He's going to have to do a lot to crawl out of those bad books for me. You guys know how I feel about Dan Heng, 100%. And someone's going to say, well, Calvin, like, what if Kafka attacked Dan Heng? Does she get pretty privilege or something? No, she gets purple hair privilege. I like her hair. No, it's like, I think I take everything case by case. That's what I'm saying here. It's like, he's in the bad books, but I'm not going to like judge him so intently that like, before I know exactly what's happening here, if that makes sense. We judge, but then we also leave room to be wrong and to also understand more, as always. But we have to go with what we see here. Let's keep going with the story now. I need answers. Answers.
I can handle that kind of hit now, but a few months ago that would have knocked me out.
I know what it is, like, because at first when I saw Phainon, I didn't really think he was like that pretty to me, because I think like I'm never like a huge fan of the straight-laced romantic hero type character, not even romantic hero, but pure hero type character. But over time, like, there's something like that, seeing more of his personality and seeing more of his depth, like, for some reason also makes him like prettier to me. There's something about it. It's just like he's not just a heroic character. He has like a slight edge to him. He has an aggression to him. He has a passion to him. And I think all encompassing, like, he's become more beautiful, not just in his face, but his personality and he himself. I think it's been really cool to see this growth for me with Phainon as well. Always keep me on the edge. If I had passed out, that would have been it.
Thanks for worrying, buddy.
Oh my god, even like the low tone of his voice here, man. You can tell like this is weighing heavily on him. Like, he has literally like become like almost like a chosen one.
Thanks for the help. To face Aglaea and other potential threats, I must sharpen myself with the most aggressive methods.
Even so, it's impressive you thought of this training method. Battling the phantoms of the past in the River of Time?
Oh, wow.
It's just like the hyperbolic time sanctum that the bards describe.
That is a pretty crazy idea.
It's working pretty well, wouldn't you say?
I suppose.
But combat isn't just about strength and skill. You also need the right weapon. Compared to that guy's weapon, mine feels like I'm swinging a lump of iron. I can't tell you how many swords I've gone through since the training began.
Why not get Chartonis to help?
Don't worry. I've already arranged that. Of course I need him.
Man, I feel like this whole journey has weighed on him so heavily, because I know, like you say, well, he's just been in a battle as well, but I feel like his voice has changed over the acts, you know? He started off as, like, you know, the epic hero, you know, and now I feel like over time he has a little bit of a, as you said, a pain in his voice and aggression sometimes just highly emotional. It's weighing heavier and heavier on him. It really feels like it is.
I asked him to make a suitable divine weapon for me. It's a little embarrassing.
This music's
to say
gorgeous.
But in order to help me, he deliberately turned down all other business.
Oh, that's how loved you are.
Oh, Chartonis is part of this flame chase journey after all. Full of energy.
Thinking about how he's been recently, maybe you're right.
But, Phainon, I've been somewhat concerned about you. Lately, you seem more and more fixated on that swordmaster in black.
We've been noticing, yeah, he has like a very different mind. And again, I think that's a direct. The voice acting is so good in this game that us noticing differences in Phainon's voice acting is clearly intentional. You know, 100%.
That's quite the sudden shift in topic.
I've been holding this question in for a long time. You're getting stronger, but seeds of unrest are also growing in me.
Don't worry. I'm not wielding my sword for revenge. She's been through Nikador's trial and understands. Those who can't walk out of the shadows of their past are ultimately weak.
I understand what he's saying. It's like he's so pretty here, but like I understand what like he's saying with the like you want to like leave the past behind and make the right step forward. But I think like what the interesting thing about this is for me as well is that like this is a heavy past, and he just relived it in front of everyone publicly. You know what I mean? It's heavy.
Times have changed. The responsibility I bear is both precious and fragile. I wield my sword for the future of Amphoreus. I will not let hatred cloud my judgment again and neglect my duties.
You've really grown, but you can't beat them yet. We'll be here by your side, 110%.
You're right, partner. As of now, I'm not able to handle that swordmaster on my own. I still need the help of my friends. Every time I say something, things get so serious. I don't want to be the person who keeps bringing the mood down.
Phainon, you literally have been like the most supportive person in the freaking world. You have been the rock. You have been literally the spine of this journey. You have made us feel so welcome. You have made us feel such a part of Amphoreus. If you're not allowed to be sad, then who is? Jesus Christ, Phainon. I think there's not a problem, but there's something that happens with the characters in Amphoreus. They apologize every 2 minutes. They say they feel bad about stuff that they've done every 2 minutes. And I think it is just because they're such a beautiful group of people and they're so romantic and emotional that they feel the weight of everything they do.
I'm out of energy for training today. How about we go to the library of Philia to lighten the mood?
Sure, that's what I've been looking forward to. We deserve to enjoy ourselves after all the hard work.
Sure.
Today, I'm definitely going to.
What were you reading before? Want to take the interesting ones home?
A girl's little secret. Don't pry.
Don't pry.
That's the charm of this place. You can find whatever you're into.
And what he's saying here, like, that's the charm of this place. You can find whatever you're into. The reason why the voice actor is so incredible for Phainon is because they sell this character to me as a character who is in pain all the time, but is always trying to make other people feel better. Like, there's a charm to him even in his darkest moments.
The three of us might not be into scholarly books, but we could still spend an entire day at the library of Philia.
Did it have DVDs? Yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff here. I just want to say as well, like, when it comes forward, look how beautiful this freaking place is, guys. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We didn't get to look at this really properly, didn't we, when we came here last time? Not at all. I want to say, when it comes to neutrality, I feel like, to to give Lygus, because again, while like no matter what, Lygus is gonna be the bad books until he can like do something good for Don Hong, or he explains himself in some way. The neutrality aspect is actually something I feel like I also got wrong in a way too, because neutrality isn't just doing something that, you know, it's not how do I say it? I think the reason I think I phrased it wrong is because if I go like to, say there's two people about to fight, but I have a problem with one of those people, and I fight the other one, and it makes them weaker for the next fight. That doesn't mean I've sided with the other person. That just means that I had my own self-interest to do something there. So there could be a possibility with Lygus that he isn't. It's not because while him getting rid of removing Don Hung and Cell from this Crisis Air journey will help the Council of Elders somewhat. That doesn't mean that he's for the Council of Elders. It could mean that he has his own self-interest that help for this as well. While the effect of this will be Council of Elders gets more of a benefit, it doesn't mean that he's directly working for the Council of Elders in an attempt to make their plans come to fruition. Right? Does that make sense what I'm saying to myself? I'm asking myself, by the way. Does that make sense? Because I think that's what I'm getting at when it comes to the idea of neutrality. Is whilst, yes, if I beat up that person who's about to fight the other person is benefited, and technically you could say, well, Calvin used, and I want to say this too, by the way. The reason why what I was trying to say earlier wasn't saying like, you know, that like I wasn't trying to go against the idea of pure neutrality, right? Which again is usually just the idea of not going for either side and kind of going for self-interest sometime, or not going for any interest of the other side. But you also have to deal with the consequences of your neutrality as well. That's what I was trying to say earlier, I think, but I did obviously phrase it wrong, I feel like. If you, again, if I beat up that person, I have to know that the other person is going to win that fight, and then afterwards I can say like, well, that's not my problem, which would be technically neutral, because like I don't care about either of them. I was just doing my own self-interest. But we also then have to live with the consequences of what we did. It's the same thing with anything. If like, if there's a vote happening in Amphoreus where one side, where they're voting on whether, you know, I don't know, a weird law to do with like, you know, crimes or something like that, where what the punishment for a crime would be. You can say, well, I'm neutral, so I don't really care about this. Well, you still also have to deal with the idea that like whatever side that you benefit is the one you benefit. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. Even if you don't agree with it, if you don't want to agree with it, you still benefit one side. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. Like if you get rid of Don Hung and Stell from this equation, the Council of Elders is benefited. But that doesn't mean that it's not. It's still neutral, because if he's going for his own self-interest, but at the same time too, it's also a thing where you also have to deal with the idea of your consequences of your neutrality, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense for me, maybe, I don't know. And in terms of the stuff with Phainon there, like you can tell he is in such like a very interesting place, and such a weird place. But he, again, has such love for us characters here. And it's so interesting too as well, when you think about us hanging out with Phainon here in this place. It used to be Midamos hanging out with Phainon. It used to be Castris and hanging out with Phainon. It used to be all these characters, him talking to Anaxagoras. But the world is technically more empty now in Amphoreus. And it happens that way. Like when there's a friend group, and three of the friends, let's say two of the friends move away or something, or two of the friends go to a different school, all of a sudden you're gonna get closer to the two people that like were the ones that are left, you know? Yeah, I just want to explain that, and also explain my feelings on Phainon there, because I feel like I was kind of a bit unfair when it came to the idea of neutrality, even though I still stand by that if you are neutral, you have to deal with the consequences of your neutrality. Okay, just clearing that up, because the thing is, like, I think it's one of those situations where, like, I like this so pretty, by the way. Look at this. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. The background is pretty too, like the area as well. Yeah, I'm joking. I was talking with the background originally, but then I saw an opportunity to call Luca pretty. It is a really gorgeous place.
Here we are! Where was that slate last time? Was it here?
The harpy is so crazy.
Over here? I'm off to have some fun! It's free time now, so you should relax too.
Very cool. Yeah, in terms of like the whole thing of like, you know, just me trying to like explain my points in this, I know sometimes like I get like a comment or two of being like, hey, you yap too much, you talk too much. You know, but to me it's the same thing as like why I pace the episodes the way I do, and why like I don't rush everything, why I want to make sure I'm taking my time with some stuff, is because I know, I'm well aware that, like, could I do a little bit better if I just did kind of like, if I reacted to everything just with my real reactions and didn't talk in between all the stuff as much as I do. 110% I know this. Could I do better if I put all the videos up and like made one full Archon quests or trailblazing missions, like all uploaded in their full like 16-hour video? Like 100%, it could do a lot better. 100, I know this. I know how this goes. I know how this works. But for me, like, I hope you understand when I say this, I'm always catering for the people that are going to be here a year from now, rather than the people that are only here for a short time. Like, you know, if someone will watch my video for the first time ever and only plans on watching my reaction to like one singular scene and then they'll leave, right? I'm happy to have you, 100%. Watch that reaction, do whatever you want with the videos. But then it's also, I think, very fair of me to be like, I'm not catering my video for that one person who's going to show up and be like, oh, that was a great reaction, never watching this video again, maybe for another 6 months. I like to cater to people that like my videos. You know what I mean? I like to cater to you guys. And if that means there's a slower growth, but then I get more... I feel like I get more dedicated people, because there's people I find like that were here like 5 years ago on other series that still comment, and I'm like, you're still here. It's like, yeah, I really like your videos. I'll always cater to what I want to do and to the people that really like my stuff, if you get what I'm saying. So you're going to hear me yapping a lot, 100%. Over the past few months, you've come here more than once, fishing out of small pieces of essence from the ocean of knowledge that best suits your tastes. You're quite relieved that Don Hung isn't around. No one will dare to judge your reading taste. I love the idea of him judging her a little bit on her reading taste. The scroll at hand shows a line of small text, non-standard reading material. Please return to its original place after borrowing. Do not let any Grove professor discover it. 10 exclamation marks. It seems that the scholars of the Grove, amidst their profound academic discussions, haven't forgotten their little hobbies. So which reading material will you peruse? Forbidden Love, The Tree, and the Butterfly. Oh, wow. This is Honkai Star Rail, by the way. Honkai Star Rail adores this, by the way. You know what it feels like? You know what that friend's like, hey, can I show you a video? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then like, oh, you look at the video time, it's like, oh, that's a 10-minute video. When Honkai Star Rail's like, can we show you a note? Sure. Oh. Forbidden Love, The Tree, and the Butterfly. We'll see how fatigued we are after reading like this one. She wandered through the flower seas, searching for a glimpse through the fluttering butterfly wings, but without success. Sir, I've heard that every flower has its own florography. Generally speaking, that perception is correct. She heard the voice but couldn't see the speaker, yet Circe's paid no mind. It was about Circe's. She calmly responded to her most special student while scanning her surroundings. What is your florography? I'm afraid I'm not a flower, but a tree. Evidently, this answer failed to satisfy the other party. A sound mingled with dissatisfaction and disappointment reached her ears, prompting her to add another remark. Well, if we're just speaking metaphorically, I suppose it would be intelligence. However, her objective was nearly accomplished. It should be around here somewhere, and now she just needed to find some bait to draw her out. Intellectual, yet also romantic. Perhaps it's because I hibernate, you see? In my long dreams, I've made promises to countless lovers. Really. The butterfly winged girl suddenly rose from the thicket before Circe's, startling her slightly. After all, at this moment, the distance between them was virtually non-existent. Gazing directly at Manestia's face, allowing the light reflecting from her lips to pass through her eyes, a hint of crimson flashes across Circe's face, almost imperceptible onto onlookers. Of course, composure wavered for only a moment, then Circe wrapped her arms around the girl's waist, and, as if pulling up a radish from the ground, gently lifted her from the flower thicket. So this is Manestia and Circe together? Of course not. Caught you now. Placing her on the ground, the giant tree's incarnation gently stroked the butterfly wings with the edges of her leaves. Whoa. Confirming the other's normal state before slowly withdrawing. So now will you tell me, why have you been avoiding me? Would you two please refrain from following him in the Antilla garden? A cold voice unseasonably interrupted their thoughts. Indeed, from the garden's master, the incarnation of death. Such a lively atmosphere was truly something akin to a natural enemy. Sorry, we'll leave at once. Thank you for listening to my troubles, Madam Thanatos. Madam Thanatos! Sir, let's return to the grove. Wait, was this Thanatos? Did I get that wrong? Because the butterflies would make sense to, so Circe's talking to Thanatos. Is what I'm getting then. I just saw Manestia and thought that was the case. Yeah, it might have been Thanatos. Sorry about that, guys. sorry then for troubling you. Honestly, you two are, alas but Cersei's, you must be aware by now. A bitter sensation spread in her mouth once more. Cersei's remained silent, merely nodding as she bid farewell to her old friend. On the way back from the grove, Menestra remained... Oh, so it was Menestra, okay. After one unsuccessful attempt to question her, Cersei struggled to find another opportunity to speak and simply focused on the path ahead. Voices of gossip reached them, causing irritation. A genius, so what if she's like, so terrifying? So she's just like... A stern figure approached rapidly. It was Kafka. The source of irritation, Menestra offered Cersei a smile, then turned and walked away. Kafka cast a sharp glance in the direction of the butterfly wing girl's departure, then shifted her gaze back to Cersei's. First came perfunctory reports and a spirit of small talk, then escalation to arguments that resembled personal attacks. Do you truly understand? I don't need to. Let me be direct, Cersei's. To romance a student, even your own creation, don't you find that perverse? Pow! This was the first time the embodiment of reason allowed emotions to govern her mind. The sensation left of her palm felt as if it would scorch the earth to the heart of a tree. From nearby came the sound of running footsteps, Philia somewhat strange. Cersei wanted to give the chase immediately, but the words echoing her ears tripped her steps. She was indeed somewhat distracted, allowing the girl's image to surface and fade in her mind repeatedly. When her resolve crystallized, the third curtain fall hour slipped by. The personification of a giant tree approached the gilded chrysalis, her cries before her beloved named and stilled as she had frozen. The traces left by the butterfly-winged girl who dwelled here were all but erased. Upon the full-light desk lay words, a maiden's first and final love letter. I love you, Cersei's. Whoa. I've already received the graduation gift after all, so forget me. So was this like, because we thought there was like a relationship between Cersei and Menestra before, right? So it seems like this is maybe like somewhat of a confirmation of that, at least like in some kind of like way, in some certain way. They were into each other at the very least, it seems. Yeah. That's it? Nothing. Oh my god, this love story birthday has the worst moment. Look, Stella's so upset. Whether the author lost motivation to continue or some urgent situation occurred remains unknown. If we're the latter, the Flame Reaver is fully responsible. My professor can't be possibly this shy. So what we're gonna do is, right? These are very long. These are very, very long. And I know I seem anti-intellectual to do this. Actually, no, that's not that long. Sorry, I'm late. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna screenshot these things here. I know it seems so anti-intellectual to be like, there's so much text, you know what I mean? 110%. But my thought process on it, guys, is just like, there's a lot of text here all the time with these notes here. And it seems like they are like kind of like stories themselves that aren't like, you know, that might be important. The Express Wealth Phone. For young Stellar hosts, this type of literature remains too far out of its time. And then once God Aquila. You see what I mean? It's very long. And I'm not, again, I know, I'm totally aware that it sounds like when I'm being like, I'm like, oh, like, you know, too long to read, you know what I mean? And I think one of the things people always will say is like, well, Calvin, I played Genshin, I watched you read like a bunch of notes, but I don't think the notes were ever this long to me, like it's a thing, right? In Honkai Star Rail, the notes are long. And I have to also say, like, it's not the game's fault. Like, the game can't curate itself to a content creator who's trying to make a video. You know what I mean? They can't. And they shouldn't. And I hope they never would. But I think, like, with Genshin, the reason why I would always read the notes on the path of the story is... And we still read every note on the path of the story, but I think these, like, very much are considered to be, like, optional in some way. But I will read them if it's something like you guys are Calvin, you definitely should read these. I'll go back and read them. That's why I'm taking screenshots of them. What I'm trying to say is that I feel like when I got a note in Genshin, for example, it would be like really long, but it would be like the one note, but this is like a couple of notes that are really long. And in fairness, and recently in Genshin, I also had to do the same thing because like the notes got very, very long at one point in one section of the game. So yeah, I know like I'm feeling a little bit like, like hot under the collar because I'm like, man, I hate being like, oh, this is too long, you know? But I think you guys understand what I'm saying with this as well. And yeah, as I said, like it's not just like Honkai Star Rail. I feel like, you know, a lot of games have really long notes nowadays. And for me, I think personally, and again, it sounds so anti-intellectual, I think sometimes they could cut some of the notes that they have like in half. You know what I mean? Or separate them, like have one half of the note be here and then we'll have one half of the note be at like the end of the dungeon. And it makes it like way more like well paced to pick up and read, because I think that I'm not the only person that when I pick up a note in Honkai Star Rail and I see like there's like this much text, it makes me go, oh, not because like again, when I started this game I was like, I'll read everything, I'll try and read as much as I can, just like I have in other games, but I feel like they are very, very long. You know, they are very long in my opinion. The article leaves you feeling empowered as if you're the authors of One Punch Man, One Punch Gods incarnate. Sky Titan equivalent, that's nothing. Yeah, it's I have no problem saying that like it's a two-edged sword here. It is too long for me. The notes are so long in this game, but at the same time too, I also understand that like a game can't curate itself for like a content creator or for myself or for anybody. I'm glad that they are themselves and continue even like 4 regions later. They're like, yeah, our notes are long. If you want to get the information, you can. If you don't have to. So I'm glad they don't shy away from that, if that makes sense.
I wonder what Phainon and Men were reading. Let's take a closer look.
Oh, they give us the books themselves. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, they give us the books. That's great. That's absolutely grepe. And to me, like, I hope it's not like a criticism, right? It can be a criticism, because of course I've criticized, aspects of Honkai Star Rail before, but it's more of a thing where it's like acknowledging like my own personal preferences. If I see a note that's absolutely gigantic and it's optional, it kind of goes like, oh man, it's going to take a while to read. It's going to break up the pacing for me a bit. So yeah, 100%, it can get very difficult. So I think the best, I would love if they got there, because I think I would read a lot more notes if like I picked up a note here and I was like, okay, oh, look at this. It's like 8 paragraphs, right? And then the other 8 paragraphs of the note are an hour from now. It would make it so manageable. It would be like, oh, that's like so easy to read. But I think it's also like when you see this big long text and it takes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes to get through the full text, it can get a bit like daunting. It can get very daunting, in my opinion. It can get very, very daunting. So you can see it as a criticism, 110%. I see it as me understanding my own preferences.
Oh, I thought I felt a draft just now. Peeking isn't polite, my friend.
I was just seeing your book. I was just curious what you're reading.
You could have just asked. There's nothing embarrassing about it.
You can tell the Phainon is like a bit irritated, but he's like, I want to be polite here. You know what I mean? Just ask.
Here, look, I'm reading this. Antiques Appraisal. How to Make a Fortune.
Oh, that's really cute. Didn't know you were into this. That's very cute that he's reading this.
You didn't know? After all this time we've known each other. That pains
He's
me.
into antiques. That is so freaking cute. That's so cute.
I've spent a lot of time pondering how Aglaea became such an effective leader. Beyond the intangible qualities like personality and ethics, a major reason is her family wealth.
Oh, really?
That's the perk of growing up in a big city, isn't it? For those of us in the sticks, luck doesn't come as easily. It's 30% grind, 70% fate.
Wow. So, and this is like actually not wrong. It's like a lot of like people who got big talk about it. Look, and I love that like there are like YouTubers for example, they'll be like, I got it was all grind. You know what I mean? But like the honest YouTubers, like for example, like Markiplier will say this. That it was more luck than grind. You know what I mean? Which I think it's always like, I think because all those YouTubers started at the exact right time, so obviously it was one of those things where there was less competition. But you have to obviously work hard, but there's also like an element of like the algorithm like is a luck-based thing,
Talk too much. As a leader, you need both integrity and integrity
wealth.
And skill.
So I guess he's saying that like, you can become successful if you're richer. It is true. There are rich people who just get stuff randomly and get stuff handed to them. I've seen singers, who came from rich families who all of a sudden are like getting all these benefits. I remember recently there was like a really rich singer who got like I'm not gonna say who, but like they got like a really big gig, and it was like out of nowhere. It's like they got this gig, like they got this, and it's like, really? Like people working years and are even more famous, and it's like, yeah, but like they got a rich family, yeah. You okay, ma'am?
Month of cultivation, curtain fall hour, a time to feast on greens, a poor time for fishing. Oh, then again, are there even any spots left to fish in Amphoreus?
I love Mem just reading this book here as well. Are you into fishing? We're just scaring everybody right now.
Bursting into someone's world like that can really catch them off guard.
I don't know how they read with that heartbeat in the background. It's infecting my brain.
Well, no more jokes. There's nothing here. I'll go look elsewhere.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Something's odd about men. What are they flipping through?
Wait, what was the actual text that they were flipping? Did I probably was just like, oh, mem, funny, like, and so I didn't pick up on it that well? Okay, ma'am? Fishing? That's why I didn't think anything of it. It seemed like it was about fishing. Is the curtain fall hour? Is that what we're looking at? Interesting. Is it to do with the curtain fall hour thing? Yeah, I just thought like fishing. You know what I mean? But here she is again. So Mem is.
Oh, these cards are so detailed and fine. Ruler, weaver, traveler, healer.
So she is looking at something here, right?
But the interpretation for each card is so long. Do I have to memorize them all?
Ruler fits me pretty well. What are you looking at?
What a coincidence! We meet again. Guess we're fated to be together.
Yeah?
But you must be busy, so I won't bother you for now. Hope your day, every day is.
See, Mem is not usually very secretive, right? Mem is not very secretive at all.
Suspicious. Not like their usual self.
Mem is like one of the most open characters in the world. Phainon, grab her. But gently.
You sure are persistent.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm totally helpless against your charm.
You know what's so funny? I don't think anyone would say Stella has charm because she's just a pure gremlin. But Mem, of course, thinks she has charm, which is very, very cute.
What are you guys chatting about? Is this the Amphoreus divination compendium?
So even he's kind of surprised by this. This beating heart, I literally just don't know how they read onto this.
Why are you here too?
Sorry, seeing you two chasing each other around. I suddenly found my book not that appealing anymore.
Because all you can see is this running around the place.
Never thought Mem would be into divination. But it's not exactly a niche hobby. So why all the secrecy?
So it's divination.
I wanted to set up a surprise. Master it in secret and give you all a shock.
Oh, that would be very cute though, wouldn't it?
But getting caught halfway through, it's only natural I'd feel shy. A girl's heart is more delicate than Aglaea's ever-changing moods.
A girl's heart is more delicate than Aglaea's ever-changing mood. I do love that, like, Mem, she really, loves the, being, and again, I'm not saying I know about girlhood, but I'm saying that she loves the idea of girlhood, right? She's, always, for the girls. You know what I mean? She's always like, yeah, she has to make sure everyone, knows she's a girl. She's for the girls. She loves girlhood, you know?
Surprise.
But yeah, that sounds like...
Huh? Someone else used to tell me the same. She was really good at stargazing and divination, especially with cards. Yeah, just like the ones you're looking at.
I hope it didn't sound like I was saying that, oh yeah, because women, their hearts are delicate and they change their moods. I hope it didn't sound like that, guys. You guys know I would never say that, but I mean just when Mem talks, in general, she's always for the girls. She's always very much referencing herself as a girl constantly. I hope it didn't sound like that. I'm not saying that it's like girls are so emotional. I'm not one of those freaking idiots. I might be an idiot, but I'm not one of those idiots for sure.
And you must be pretty familiar with all sorts of divination techniques with a friend like that.
No, I know nothing about it. I've never really believed in using cards or bones to predict the future.
Okay, so he doesn't really like follow this, which is interesting that like we follow the like, and this happens in real life. Like they follow the prophecy but don't believe in this. It's like people who believe in like, you know, magic in one sense but don't believe in magic in another sense. Like, oh, I believe in ghosts but I don't believe in this. You know, it's like, it's interesting how people always have like their own biases when it comes to their own beliefs.
If the good omens foretold by divination were true, my hometown, Elysiae, wouldn't have disappeared.
True, and that's a really good story, a character writing thing. That why would Phainon believe in this when like it failed him before?
Don't forget, we've got Lady Trina. Every other form of divination is just smoke and mirrors or cleverly rehearsed tricks compared to her flawless prophecy.
Interesting. A little bit of faith in these things isn't bad sometimes. It should be approached with critical eye. It should be 100%.
To me, divination could be a power that guides our spirit.
The reason I said interesting is because, again, every character is a complicated, interesting character in this world. Him being like, you know, the only true divination is my favorite divination. You know what I mean? That's like, even though we love all the characters in this world, they have their own beliefs and they have their own biases, you know, and it's very real in real life. You know, and again, as I said, someone will be like, I believe in ghosts. And it's like, okay, cool. It's like, well, I believe in aliens. And they go, aliens? That's crazy, bro. And you're like, you know, we all have our own beliefs here, but it's like, I believe in this thing, but not this thing. And to me, it just makes Phainon more realistic to be like, that's all mumbo jumbo. But my one? True, you know?
They always cast a shadow in front of us, clouding our view of the future. That's why people turn to divination. It's just to find a small reason to give them courage to face the unknown.
It's like giving them motivation to go forward. You really thought about this, haven't you?
After all, the first chapter of the Divination Compendium discusses the significance of divination. I'm just expanding on that a bit.
Strange. That person I knew used to say similar things. Looking back, whenever she interpreted a card for me, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. Even though I never believed in the outcomes.
I feel like this happens a lot. Like, even if you don't believe in, like, what do they call them, tarot cards and stuff? There is, like, a bit of a nervousness when you go into it, you know?
Maybe it was her tone.
Cyrene.
She could paint a complete fantasy so vividly. It utterly captivated me as a child.
I forgot the name of this character. Cyrene was the girl, the pink-haired girl, right? In Phainon's memory.
Right. I still carry a card she once used. Do you want to see it?
Of course.
Oh, wow. It's so exquisite.
Hold the phone.
I'd love to have a card like that.
So wait, the book that we've been getting this whole time with the different cards, they look like the cards you've gotten. So like, are they based upon like maybe the cards that Cyrene used to use? If that's so, that's pretty freaking awesome. That's pretty freaking cool. Those myths up to the task. Those myths. They gotta craft a mem-specific deck. Honestly, I love Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so like a mem-only deck would be so funny.
Oh, now that you mention it, yes. It would be even better if it were made of, say, crystal.
Speaking of which, partner, there's something I haven't shared with you all. Remember our first trip to the Temple of the Three Fates? The riddle that Orynyx posed to us?
Is he talking about what weighs more in this world? What is happening here?
Who's there?
Look at Phainon going right into like defensive mode. Wait, is this?
You are...
Is that the same people that work for Lygus? Assassins Save Me?
These folks are up to no good.
Is this the same people that like they were around Dan Hong, right?
Black clothing. Masks decorated with golden
Golden blood? What are you talking about?
Are they
Cleaners? What the hell is a cleaner? Well, they're cleaners, but what is the context? Their outfits are really cool.
To directly call us by our name, it seems you, Lord Phainon, have studied the forgotten history of Amphoreus quite thoroughly.
So this might be something that hasn't been around for a while? Who are they?
Your friend seems quite interested in us. Perhaps you could explain, Lord Phainon. It would be the,
Please explain.
We can't let our esteemed guests pass away without understanding.
Are they? Wait, so they were. I thought they were trying to capture Dan Heng. Does that mean they were trying to assassinate Dan Heng as well?
During the Chrysos War, to combat the Chrysos heirs, several cities formed an underground assassin squad.
No.
The Cleaners.
They're literally a Chrysos heir assassin squad?
Their task was to erase anyone with golden blood from existence. Assassination, poisoning, political persecution. They would do anything to achieve
That is
their
insane. Like, Amphoreus is incredible, by the way, because this is literally dropping gasoline into a fire, right? It's like they know how to like ramp up their story every single chapter. We have assassins that are trying to assassinate Chrysos heirs. So do you think that they were trying to assassinate, because they said, the way they talked about it, they said they were going to assassinate Cell. Do you think they were trying to assassinate Dan Heng as well? I thought they were just trying to capture him or something. This is a really... First of all, my heart's pounding. This is such a cool thing. Like, it's such a cool idea for a story. Like, they've ramped up the danger and ramped up the mystery, and there's another, like... there's another danger here. There's another story beat here. But at the same time, it's also, like... It's kind of freaking scary, because like, it feels kind of, like, very planned. So one of them came for Dan Heng. Now there's people here with Phainon and Stel. It's almost like it was a planned movement to happen today, almost.
This historical perspective seems biased, glossing over the Chrysos heirs'
so cool.
abuse of divine powers and their blatant initiation of war in order to defame our presence.
So he sees it differently. And I hope it doesn't sound like I'm saying, like, this is adding such attention to this game. With the harp, now the heartbeat in the background is a perfect place for this for where it is, because again, like, I feel this in my heart. This is such a scary idea, but it's such a great idea. What a way to add such an element of danger to this game.
Could you disclose the name of the author behind this popular legend, Lloyd Phainon? I'd hate for the innocent children of Ochema
There's bitterness to this.
to be tainted by such slanted narratives.
There's a lot of bitterness to this.
You should have stayed buried in the dust of
Oh, look at Phainon.
The Citizens' Assembly has once again legitimized the mission of the Chrysos heirs. But as for you...
And it's interesting that this is happening right after it did legitimize it. It re-legitimizes the Chrysos heir and the Flame Chase journey. I love when Phainon gets angry, by the way, when he gets frustrated.
Not one citizen would cast their vote for you. Executioners lurking.
Oh my god, Phainon is even saying, like, hey, even if there were some people that didn't want the Flame Chase journey to go on, they wouldn't even vote for you.
What does it matter? We long since stopped expecting to be understood.
Jesus, man, this is fantastic.
People have become too accustomed to peace, and they've forgotten the disasters that arose from allowing generations of the Chrysos heirs to rule.
So they clearly have a chip about this. They see the Chrysos heirs as causing disasters, war. They have lied, and they've slanted history to make it seem like they've been the good guys this whole time. That's what their feelings are. And now he's even saying that, like, people don't even know what it's like anymore because they don't remember history properly in his eyes. So they're just thinking that the Chrysos heirs aren't going to cause any problems again.
Complete nonsense. Did you really travel all the way to the grove
This is
just to
insane.
have an argument?
The heartbeat makes so much sense. I think I'm not wrong. Honkai Star Rail doesn't really do things by accident sometimes. I think they chose the heartbeat as a backdrop for a reason, for the tension in the scene.
I enjoy dealing with people as straightforward as you, Lord Phainon.
Great voice acting.
You've probably figured out why we've come before you.
Is it to assassinate us? Just a handful of you here. Who do you think you're fighting?
Keep your cool, partner. They've come out of the shadows, which suggests they have something up their
Okay, fine. I'll always revert to you.
All right. Let's hear it. What are you hiding? But watch your language and don't say anything you might regret.
This is so good. This is so well done.
My shoulders might be sore and my sword a tad dull, but it's still enough to slice off your tongues.
God, Phainon. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, Phainon always like this, like, very, we thought was this prim and proper, clean hero. When he gets vicious, he gets vicious. Huh? Huh? Why am I ever surprised anymore? Like, instantly I go, like, what are we doing? And then I'm like, oh. You know what I mean? Because it's so normalized at this point for Honkai Star Rail to be very, like, movie-like in the way they cut between scenes and stuff like that. Man, that is... They just threw... There was a fire already lit in Amphoreus. And they just came by and got a big bucket of gasoline and threw it on the fire.
How's it going, Cinny? This place fits, doesn't it? It's a bit small, but the lighting
Who's that
is
little
perfect.
creature with them?
Thank you, Lady.
Oh my
Twilight.
god!
With this, the Twilight Courtyard can be reborn in Ochema.
Oh, okay.
Do you like it here too, little Ika?
Ika. Man, Ika was like, I like it a lot. But the Ika's really adorable. Ika's like looks like they'd be like the perfect like pillow.
It's so bright here. Maybe you should rename it. How about Luminous
The Luminous Courtyard.
Lady Treeby makes a good point. But Twilight Courtyard carries the long history of the descendants of the sky. And I'd like it to continue.
Fair enough.
Right. How does the legend go again? Even Lady Treeby forgets things. We just haven't prepared lessons in a while now, so we're a bit rusty. Just give us some time and we'll remember. Ah, now we remember. Kremnos in the Firmament, Volume 3, Section 5. With Celiosi, the Day Thunder Knight, striking down the Eye of Twilight, the divine war between Nikador and Aquila, which spanned centuries, came to an end.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just so we can have this, because if they're putting it in gold, it makes it seem like it is like gonna be important.
Thereafter, the Skyfolk gradually declined. Numerous sky fortresses were abandoned, and their descendants began to establish themselves on the land.
So thereafter, Skyfall gradually declined. Numerous sky forges were abandoned and descends. Okay, so that's when they like came to Earth, I guess. That's really cool. It's a really cool story.
Finally, those descended from Celiosi the Day Thunder Knight were welcomed by the scholars under Circes and established the Twilight Courtyard in the Grove. The historical records seem slightly at odds with our memories, but the details from that time have become somewhat hazy to us.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. For Lady Treeby, history is more than just words on a page. It's something you personally lived.
That's so crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's like talking to someone who lived through like World War II or something. You know, it's such a different perspective, isn't it? You know. I'm not gonna say what it is because it'd just be such a bummer. But I remember I got to talk to for a while to someone who lived through a very horrific world event, and it'll change your perspective forever on stuff, because there's one thing to like sit here and be like reading a history book and still understand the weight of it, but to talk to someone who like lived through that, it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like this is a perspective like that's needed almost, you know what I mean, in some ways.
Little Ika loves this.
Ika's adorable.
Stories from the legends. I'm sure you're also imagining one day you'll be as awe-inspiring as the winged beasts by Celiosi's side. That day will come. I believe it. Just keep growing.
Oh my god, this Hyacinth's so sweet to Ika. Kratos?
Lord Crediros?
What's happening?
Miss Hyacinth
What's happening?
and Lady Treeby, good to see you're doing all right. I heard from the citizens you were nearby and came to check.
I hope he's calmed down, which it seems like he has, because that's all I wanted from this guy, to like, you know, step up a little bit.
Doing all right. What's going on?
Yeah, this is
Carlos?
worrying, isn't it?
There's been another violent incident at the market.
Huh?
A shop was smashed and looted. It's the third time this week.
This is getting really, really interesting, isn't it?
How can this be? I always thought that with Lady Aglaea here, Ochema would remain peaceful.
This is so interesting that it happened right after the vote was decided as well.
That was true in the past. But these days, forgive my bluntness, her senses may not be as sharp as they once were.
Who are you to say this? You spent a whole freaking decade arguing with Midamos about something that would have not benefited your people whatsoever. So let's not talk about blunt senses, right? You nearly had to have your own blunt head bashed against the wall to think anything other than your own thoughts for 2 seconds. Sorry, that's just him saying someone has their senses blunt is wild. It might be true. It might be true with Aglaea. We know her soul is thinned out. But this is like Barney the dinosaur calling someone else purple. It's like, what? You're purple. You are. You're a big purple guy. Like,
Aggie.
you know, and we know that her soul has thinned. We know that she's, she's obviously fading away. She's obviously she even described herself dragging her corpse to the finish line.
In my opinion, malevolent forces have noticed the slack in the golden threads and are now plotting to exploit the opportunity.
Maybe that's why the cleaners have come as well.
The Citizens' Assembly just wrapped up. Why is there still unrest?
I think that's why there is unrest. I think they saw this as a perfect opportunity.
The Chrysos heirs won by only 1 vote, Lady Treeby. From my years of experience, a narrow victory often walks hand in hand with unrest.
Yes, literally the Civil War in Ireland started based on a vote that one side just wasn't happy with. You know what I mean? It can go down that way.
Trouble. Miss Hyacinth. Trouble.
Oh, what's happening?
Clementine. Take a breath. What's going on?
Please, something terrible has happened at Marmorial Palace.
Oh no, what's happened now?
What is it, Doctor? Calm yourself and talk us through.
Lady Aglaea.
What? What?
It's Lady Aglaea who's in trouble.
What do you mean? This is getting so scary. This is getting so scary. You know what this feels like? Shakespearean. Dramatic. You could say even like, let's be honest here, Greek tragedies as well, right? You could talk all about this stuff with the idea of like a sudden change in the story and a massive injection of fear and, a new opponent, a new drama added to the story that makes everything change. Everything feels like it's changed almost instantly.
I still remember. This bath that overlooks the entire palace was built by the Council of Elders 900 years ago.
This is so well done.
Its purpose was to commemorate the first flame chase journey and to remember the heroes who made great sacrifices for Amphoreus a millennium ago. Rules were set then. No one was allowed to enter.
Oh my
apart from
god!
guests invited by the Gold Weaver.
Oh, so how did they get in?
But, I guess, you're no longer pretending to follow the rules, are you, Lady Kindness?
She's with them. She's freaking with them. Yep, she's with them. She's with them. She's with them. She's with them.
Aglaea.
She was, again, I knew this, by the way. I knew she was corrupt. I knew she didn't care about the actual people. I knew she was always about her own interests, right? 110%. And look at this here now. She lost and still... Because, again, we said it's a double standard. She expected the Chrysos heirs to accept whatever the outcome was. But she can't. She is working with the cleaners. She's given them passage into here. This isn't some random thing that happened where all of a sudden they jumped up here. It's a direct result of that vote. It changed everything. Holy hell.
You ageless witch.
Witch, he says.
Behind a divine facade to deceive mortals. We've been far too kind with you.
She is the most frustrating character in the history of video games. She's awful. She's so awful.
Kind? There's no need to use such a word to cover up your...
Tell her.
Incompetence.
Yes. You lost because you suck. And I'm sorry that's such a blunt way to put it, but it is. It's true. Kindness has to blame herself. She's to blame herself. She's not a fit leader. You know that's true.
Anaxagoras humiliated all of you before the citizens.
Yep.
If you still had any shred of shame, you'd throw yourselves from Dawn Cloud at the curtainfall hour to salvage the last fragments of your dignity.
Oh. What? Did Aglaea just say if you had any dignity, you would die? Again, I love that Amphoreus doesn't shy away from having our main character say vicious stuff. Because sometimes it's needed. Phainon just saying, I'll rip out your tongue. Because what she's saying is true. The reason she's upset is because she lost. But she had no plans of losing in the first place. There was no way she was going to let herself lose, but she was so confident. Anaxagoras made a fool out of her in front of everybody. In front of everybody. I love Aglaea's testing her like this.
Demigod, why not gaze into the water's reflection and see the wretched face you wear now?
Look at your face. You called her a witch. You look not only tired, you look like you have no soul. You look like you have no soul.
These days you're not only blind, but also deaf. The cleaners were born for this moment. When all orders, rules, and laws fail to restrain you,
oh my god, she's frustrating.
It's time for the dagger to pass judgment.
It's so she's so intentionally like one of the most frustrating characters ever. When all orders, rules, and laws restrain you, which is in code for I've tried everything to stop you, but the world wants you to succeed. It wants you to keep going. The people want you to keep going. Majority ruled. Right? And still I can't stop you. So what am I going to do? Kill you. She's just evil. Just an evil person.
If you're in such a hurry, give it a try.
Oh my god, why are the crises there so cool?
Going toe-to-toe with a demigod? We're not that foolish.
Oh, you're annoying. You're annoying. I want her downfall. I need it now. I need it right now.
The dagger isn't at your throat, but...
What? The people? This proves my point from before, where she doesn't care about the people. She never cared about the people.
Your gravest accusation is that my humanity is fading. And you claim my concern for mortal joys and sorrows is nothing but a facade.
Yes, say it, Aglaea. Say what we're all thinking. Say what we're all thinking. I literally feel like I'm behind Aglaea right now while someone's trying to fight her like in the streets. And I'm like, yeah, Aglaea, get her. Like, because this is the truth. What Aglaea's about to say is the truth. I know what she's about to say. Because here's the thing, right? How dare you? How dare this woman? How dare she question Aglaea's faith to the people when she does not only threaten the people's lives, but she's going against democracy? How dare she?
If that accusation holds, what makes you think the lives of these civilians will sway me?
Oh, she said something I didn't expect. I thought she was going to say, but actually you want to kill them in the end, so you don't actually care. But what Aglaea said was actually like way more crazy, which is, if you think I don't care about the people, then why do you think this is going to work?
Fine. I'll gladly use a few more words to shatter that demigod.
I actually think that I love the vicious side of Aglaea and Phainon. Aglaea, because again, even what she said there, Aglaea, instead of being like, then why do you not care about the people? Which is what I thought she was going to say. But instead she goes, why do you think I care about these people? If you think I hate these people, I don't give a damn about these people, why would I care?
Like I said, you're not only blind, but deaf too. Lately, your control over Ochema has weakened.
Oh, don't listen to her.
You failed to notice the thefts we arranged in the market, nor did you catch wind of the meetings happening in the Dromus workshop. Plots are unfolding right under your nose, yet you remain indifferent.
This hurts. I want her gone. I want kindness gone.
Humanity? Fading? Aglaea, why not use your precious golden thread to peer into my thoughts? See if the gift we've so meticulously prepared for you can move that cold demigod heart of yours.
She is the biggest sore loser in the history of this world, the most incompetent ruler in the history of this world. Kindness cannot in any way, shape, or form. She's tried so hard, she's tried everything, and she cannot win this battle. Kill her. End her right now. End her. She is a detriment to this world.
In this moment, I only regret not being more ruthless.
Yes.
Because your evil is beyond cure.
Exactly. 100%. Exactly what I just said. She is a detriment to this world. She cannot be helped.
You finally figured it out. You have grown dull.
What did you
I've been
see?
holding that image in my mind this whole time to make sure you could see it clearly.
What did you see?
I want you to have this knucklebone talisman, Big Sis.
What?
I hope it brings you luck every day and keeps you safe from bullies.
This is when she helped a little girl right from the Black Tide?
That girl who can't speak or hear. What if she accidentally lost her eyes too?
What do you mean? What is happening?
You know better than anyone what it feels like to lose your sight. Imagine if 1,000 years ago you, already blind, had also lost your voice and hearing in your youth. Would you still have become the Aglaea you are today?
What is happening? Like, what is she saying here?
Look at those broken, pleading eyes. How disappointing. We overestimated your cunning.
Wait, so... Are they... I don't get this part. Are they saying the little girl gave us something that they wanted her to give us them? Like she gave us something that they wanted to give us, the talisman? She said, you know better than if it feels to your side. Imagine if 1,000 years ago you were already blind, I'd also lost your voice and hearing in your mouth. Would you still become the Aglaea you are today? Is that what they're saying?
If this plan fails, we still have dozens of splendid parting gifts prepared. Demigod, would you like to hear about them?
I thought I could buy some more time.
What is... No.
In these 1,000 years, I've witnessed the fall of 10 titans. From my naive arrogance at the beginning to slowly learning how to guide others.
What is happening?
Now, it's time to let go. I should be grateful.
What?
Grateful that I've reached this moment. To let my departure become a path for others to follow.
What are you talking? No.
Have I done enough? If I embrace that prophecy
What
now,
are we doing?
and sink into the warmth of these waters,
Please, let's not do this. Leave her alone.
will the wandering wind stop to mourn me?
Cipher. What? Okay, I mean, like, again, we're not surprised that they changed the freaking perspectives in crazy ways all the time.
I've come as promised. Look at this box full of gold and silver treasures. I bet there's stuff here you've never seen.
I'm gonna share a video of that again. I know it's gonna be me talking in it, but it seemed to me that, like, she saw this vision in Kindness's mind, and Kindness showed her an image of this little girl that I think is the little girl we saved earlier, right? But the cleaner was watching. Do you think that the talisman that was given to us was a tactic? Or do you think it's something else? Because Honkai Star Rail does have a habit of doing this thing where they will show like a flash of a screen and be like, "So you realize?" And it's like, "No, I don't. I don't realize." But it seemed in the end there she seemed to be like not giving up, but she's like, "Is it my time? Have I truly lost my touch?" have, and even Kratos is saying, is that, like, and Aglaea probably felt the fact she didn't notice this sneaking up on her. She didn't notice the cleaners out here plotting. She didn't notice Kindness plotting. They've been doing it right under her nose, and she didn't even notice. And we know that, like, Anaxagoras noticed she was fading away too. Is this a baby? By the way, a baby Cipher? Sorry guys, I was so wrapped up in what just happened. This is a baby Cipher. What are we doing? Sorry baby Cipher, you look adorable. But yeah, like it seemed like she was like accepting her fate in some way. I think we're just gonna have to go back and see what was happening there.
As we agreed, I want to buy the most valuable clothes you have.
Little thief, you've got some nerve.
Oh my god, young
barging into my
Aglaea.
shop dressed in those tattered rags. What have you brought? Let me see.
Here, take a look. Only the finest goods. See the sapphire? It's even more blue than Sagusa's.
Oh, this is kind of adorable. So this is when she met Aglaea, I guess?
Such exquisite luster. I've only seen an ocean's tear of this quality in my mother's treasury.
Wait. You've seen one before. And here I thought I'd leave you speechless. What a letdown.
It's just an old memory. My family estate all burned to ashes long ago. This workshop is what I built from scratch.
Wow, a daughter rebuilding her family business. How admirable. Enough with the jokes. At least you did get to enjoy those luxuries.
Cipher, talking about Aglaea's luxuries, but Cipher already had like a very like business savvy mind, or at least like savvy mind as a kid.
Mind your manners, kitty.
Kitty?
Tell me, Cipher, where did you come from? And how did you acquire these treasures?
I won them fair and square in a bet. What? Do you doubt me? Speak up, seamstress. Give me a straight answer. Do you want these or not?
She was already so crafty.
Strange. You're clearly lying to my face. But my golden thread doesn't tremble at all.
Interesting. So even when she was a kid, she was able to like kind of deceive people in this way? Is that because of Zagreus?
That's because I'm not lying. I've been telling the truth from the start.
Is that so? The scars and the mud stains on your face tell another story.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Just do business without all this chatter. Don't worry. I didn't leave any evidence, so no one will bother.
Look at even like her little scratches on her elbow as well.
How can I trust a word you say when you're so skilled at
She's so good at lying, even Aglaea couldn't figure out that she was lying.
Dealing with you rich people is such a pain. Always wasting my time. Fine. If you don't want it, there are plenty of others who do.
She's so crafty.
Hold on. Your treasure? I'll accept it. But these alone aren't enough to purchase the gold weaver's finest clothes. That said, I do have something that would suit you perfectly.
Oh. What do you have in mind?
Look.
Whoa.
Come a bit closer.
Gorgeous.
Oh, it's shimmering gold. Absolutely stunning.
These golden boots are the gold weaver's greatest treasures. Though not as valuable as the most precious gowns, they hold a magical power.
Oh yeah, magical power? I can't get over how adorable baby Cipher is.
Legend has it that Zagreus blessed these boots, allowing anyone who wears them to move swiftly and silently.
I mean, that would help you, wouldn't it? I can't get over baby Cipher. What the hell?
Put them on, Cipher. And don't get caught again.
Cipher.
A face as lovely as yours deserves better protection.
Cipher. So is that who she was talking? I didn't even pick up on this. That's who she was talking about? Cipher?
You rich folks just love sticking your noses in everything, don't you? Well, I'm taking these now, so don't get any second thoughts.
Because that would be her full name, I guess, is Cipher. Like Midamos or, Anaxagoras, right?
What's wrong?
This is a crazy thing to jump to, by the way, right after the near execution scene.
Do you have a smaller size? These are way too big for me.
You'll go into them.
Well, I suppose you'll have to grow into them.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, I remember when I would ever get shoes, like I was like, these don't fit, they're too big. My mother would always buy them like a thumb too big, because she's like, well, you'll grow into them and they'll last longer. You know what I mean? She'd always be like, you have to be a bit bigger, Fake? What's fake?
Do you have to interrupt me in the middle of my story? Fake? What's fake?
What, is he saying it's a fake story? Oh, they're the boots she has now.
You're Amphoreus' most cunning liar, and even you were fooled by Aglaea.
Watch your mouth, or I'll feed you to the fish in the river of souls.
Tell him.
Weren't you curious how I got tangled up with that seamstress? Well, now you know. Satisfied.
So he says it's fake, but do you think maybe he's just thinking the shoe part is fake, but maybe she embellished the truth a little bit, but I believe her.
I didn't expect such a simple story. How disappointing.
Sometimes stories are simple.
But, boss lady, there's a chance Aglaea wasn't trying to trick you?
You're defending her.
So she's saying it was a trick. Guys, my mind is just all everywhere.
It'd be a shame to ruin it with a lie. If I could cry, I'd be in tears.
Honkai Star Rail does this all the time, by the way. They'll be like, here's this huge, gigantic moment, and then they're like, oh yeah, deal with this now. Sit there and deal with this. Because again, this is a great scene, but like my mind is like, because it's funny. It's a really charming scene, but my mind is also like clouded a bit in the back. You know what I mean? So like I feel like sometimes they need to give you like a little bit of room to be like, what just happened,
Good thing you've still got a sharp tongue, or you'd have been stuck guarding someone's front door ages ago.
The laugh for Cipher as well.
Enough chit-chat. Let's take a look at this place. The city of Styx.
By the way, her just being friends with
Look
Bathalos,
how beautiful she is.
actually very hilarious.
Let me take a good sniff of this air.
She purring, oh my god.
This air, it's filled with the scent of treasure everywhere. Wonderful, just wonderful. Thanks to Castorus and Grey Mystery, the ancient city's barrier was
Oh
finally
my god.
dispelled. Now that I think about it, helping them was well worth it.
So she has free reign over this place now?
Time for treasure hunting, Barto.
The voice acting's so good.
And whatever we find, we'll split 80-20.
It legit is like she could have her own like Saturday morning cartoon. She could. These two together.
How about 70-30 instead?
You take whatever you get.
Listen closely. Do you hear that? The gnawfish in the river of souls are growling.
Oh, she says I'm going to feed you to them 100%.
80-20 is. How generous
all this water? It's damp, cold, and miserable here. I hate it.
Ooh, the mighty demigod of trickery! Uneasy around water?
You wouldn't understand. The people of Dolos are talented in many ways. Just, not in swimming.
It's very cute, though, isn't it? Like, the idea like that, you know, she's a cat and she's not very good at swimming.
Why don't we have a race? Long distance, sprint, or laps? Take your pick.
What's got you so worked up? Relax, relax. Who would have thought the fearless Lady Cipher was afraid of water?
Nuts hate getting wet. What's so hard to understand about that?
I adore that that's a character trait.
Now, hurry up and figure out a way across, or I might have to reconsider our split.
Don't rush me. Let me take a look around.
They actually have such a... They do have surprisingly, if you told me that, yeah, like, Barthlos would have a fun dynamic with anyone, I wouldn't have really believed you, but they actually are doing a really good job of, like, making this a really, like, fun, like... It's almost like either, like, an early morning Saturday cartoon or, like, an 80s, like, buddy drama. Or comedy, I should say.
Got it. Let's use that thing. Come on, follow me, boss lady.
Not a good imitation.
Not a good imitation.
I'll play along. Let's see where this goes, Bart.
Oh my god, two tricksters working together. So we're gonna get to play Cipher, I'm guessing, right? Yes.
Trying to trick me into saying something. Not a chance.
You're as sharp as ever.
So, we're definitely gonna be... I'm gonna be reading some stuff from this menu as well. I didn't expect it to, like, I hope it doesn't sound like everyone being like, oh, this sucks. Like, why would they do this afterwards? It's just, like, I think it's one small critique I always have for Honkai Star Rail is, like, something that's very just, like, for me personally, which is, like, when you have these big... But then again, I think the way Honkai Star Rail like to do things, they like to make it very dramatic. They like to leave you with questions. They like to leave you up in the air. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that, because I kind of like it in some ways. But also, I also like time to process what just happened. But I think Honkai Star Rail loves the idea. I think that's what they're intentionally doing. I think they want you to feel like, you like that cliffhanger? You know what I mean? It makes it... It's very movie-like in a way, for sure. We can definitely swap Cipher here for Luca. And she's so cool. Oh my god, they kick up. She's definitely a cat lady.
Cat mouse time.
What is that? Is that... Oh, no. Wait, is this a magnet? Do you think this could be her, like, drawing, like, items to her? Wait, she's going really fast as well. Is that her power? Remember, she can go really fast between things. What we're gonna do is, right? What we're gonna do is pause and save, right? We're gonna pause and save, and we're gonna end the video here. But I'm still gonna do some reading later as well. Oh, I'm here. I can save Aglaea. But we're gonna talk about everything that just happened here. We'll go to the Astro Express as usual, guys. Just absolutely nuts, guys. Just absolutely nuts. I think what they've done in this episode is it feels like a season beginning. You know what I mean? It feels like season 3 wrapped up, and it felt like everything. Oh, we did everything. Oh my god, we ended amazingly. We succeeded, but there's gonna be a sadness at the end and drama at the end, and a bit of like a cliffhanger. And then they begin season 3 with like everything has changed. They did a really good job with that. Okay, so this is obviously filmed after the ending discussion, which was like, to me, like a big discussion as always. I feel like I'm doing longer and longer discussions because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, it feels like. But we're gonna do some more of these as well. This one here. There's those flame chasing people, those forgotten stories, as I've written. It's Anaxagoras. Let the divine name dim.
Before meeting death, the scholar already composed his own epitaph. He would
Why didn't we do
state
that?
his own grave at the beginning
I think you can on auto like
every
this.
month of reaping, staring long and hard at his stained hands.
I like auto because like these you know it's a different thing. So like I like just having them auto read through the story. Before the meeting death, the scholar had already composed his own epitaph. The person's name was seldom mentioned by others, incomplete like his fate. He'd sweep his own grave at the beginning of every month of reaping, staring long at hard at his stained hands.
Hands that never seek the benediction of gods, accepting only the tricks and plots his brain presents.
Tricks and plots.
Keep your distance from that blasphemous one.
Oh.
Lest misfortune follows you like a shadow.
People warned each other thus before his lectern. In those rumors,
So keep your distance from Anaxagoras.
hubris looms foul and vile. He dares to proclaim ascendancy over gods and defy the Titan's will. But the one shouldering such slander pays little heed. His lonesome figure stands aloof, for he always
This is totally describing Anaxagoras' story for sure,
no
right?
greater than mortal beings such
I love him
as
so much.
Grove of Epiphany, the paradise of the wise, yet harbors one shouldering the name of a fool. He calls himself a clear-headed teacher, leading lost students, yet he rarely guides or teaches, apart from gifting a single sin.
Saying you rarely teaches?
Yet, for the rest of the student's life, that saying
That's awesome.
often
That's really
proves
awesome.
to be more valuable than gold. Pupils often praise his words as divine utterances, to which the teacher replies with sharp retort. Apart from destiny, he seems able to decipher.
This is like
all
proper glazing, and I love it.
Even destiny may also be within his grasp. It was not so in the beginning, as he silently recalls the past under leafy shade.
Faced with the god's edict, even I cannot resist.
With no guidance given, he reaches enlightenment for the first time.
Yet, I sincerely believe this is not to be my destiny.
That became the cause of the blasphemy.
Miracles are the most conceited actions of gods. They are God's denial of humanity via might. Magic
The denial of
tricks
humanity is
are
very
the most
interesting.
Articulate rebuttal. They are humanity's imitation of godhood via intellect.
He habitually describes the feats of mankind as magic tricks, proving that the enlightened can step beyond the boundaries of reason. But magic tricks cannot afford to fail, even after a million times. And for that, the blasphemous co-conspires with a god. Using the final trick, they wish to create a miracle to end all miracles.
Look at that thing, he was holding his hand for his idol animation, right? So that's that concluded. Do you think that this story was just again? It's that's such a cool artwork. It seemed like it was definitely like a description of Anaxagoras, right? Like and how people saw him, whether it be blasphemous, whether it be someone who like didn't believe in the gods, who believed that like you know humans you know shouldn't adhere to the Titans in that way because it diminishes their own I guess accomplishments or what they can do with themselves. But you saw they said in the end the idea of like how like he saw you know human. Was it human, you know, miracles and like the kind of like the way they use the Titans as like magic tricks? Is that what he was saying? And when they talked about what he was doing in the end, it seemed like he wanted like again, he even though he doesn't believe in the Titans, he wanted to use the Titans to kind of reshape the world. At least that's the impression I got of him as well. Very very cool. Wow, it's a story of a new companion, the one who looks like a scholar of some kind. Looks like a pirate. Magical boy. I have no idea what that means, but you're trying to make me laugh, right? It's magic boy. I'll just play along, teehee. Or I just remembered that one is a magician. On top of the flame chase journey, he always seemed to oppose, perhaps because he didn't believe in the prophecy. Everything in this world is false except me. Love it. Actually love it. Time for a quiz tell. What do you think is the relation between Anaxa and us? Kindred spirits, arch enemies, teacher and students, meal buddies. Why not? With the grove being like this, there isn't any time to study. Though the ideologies are completely different, when it comes to stubbornness, he's striking similar to the other heroes. Aglaea even permits the Crisis heirs to study on her Anaxa. A good rival for a good friend. Everyone can probably agree on that, at least. But we're different still. We're the best partners when we work together. Lovely stuff. I love working with you. I forgot we get like gifts as well, right? Some really cool gifts. So what's the next story as well? Oh wow, there's a bunch of like continuations, right? So there's the those flame chasing people, those forgotten stories as I've written. The long separation.
You shall part with your friends, with your enemies, with others, and with yourself.
The fruit of fate.
The Chrysos War's clamor rises and falls, and when the children reunite, only 3 of them remain.
We have heard of a Chrysos heir.
The lively child says. That person tears open the barricade of the black tide, aims at the sky, wanting to contain the core flame in a sheath.
There will always be warriors like me, who believe in and are willing to protect the tomorrow they prophesize.
But the crusading Chrysos heir never returns. The greedy ones then lift the ground with sharp blades, and by power's lethality, they are one by one slain.
Wait, so hold on a second here. So we've heard of Chrysos heirs, the lively child says. Sometimes this is very confusing to me, I'll be completely honest. So maybe they met a Chrysos heir who tore open the black tide.
We have heard of a Chrysos heir.
The lively child says. That person tears open the barricade of the
Oh no, they repeated? That's hilarious.
We remember a group of bards.
The taciturn child says. The bards compose songs for the children's prophecy, and along the corpus of the pillar of stone lay their footprints upon which ballads are carved.
Though we lack the might of swords and shields, we can take you to walk every.
So this is them meeting a group of bards on their. Is this when they were traveling?
Till many years later, when the bards all return to their subterranean eternal rest, the children sing the long
Is this why Treeby was so good at recounting the stuff? Like a bard?
We miss us.
The exuberant
Miss
child
us.
says. When they left their home, the passages blew the girl apart into countless turbulent bubbles.
Yes.
Carried to all corners.
This was the
of
separation
world
for sure.
On the winds of destiny.
We will run towards the world's agony.
The children cheer each other up. As the years pass and the sun and moon rise and fall, the children often hear sounds of their friends shattering.
That's horrible.
Farewell.
Because they still feel what they feel, right?
Farewell. The children who still walk the earth silently hide their wrenching sobs.
They can definitely feel what they feel.
Upon the hills of Ochema once grew golden figs as far as the eye could see. The remaining children link their hands and decide to make this beautiful city.
And this is when the came to Ochema. So a lot of them have already been destroyed at that point.
Please, listen to the prophecy we bring.
The maiden pulls on her silken threads, weaving in her heart the children's
Aglaea,
past
right?
into strings.
Chase the cool flames with
Oh my god, look at this picture.
I promise that.
Is this the See You Tomorrow
The
picture?
libations poured are guaranteed to bear fruit. The hot blood of the sacrificial lamb will not be spilled in vain.
Really cool. So I think that was telling the story of after they left, right? After they left, and from my perspective, is when they separated to 1,000 pieces and then chose to stay in Ochema and give the prophecy the flame chase journey, I'm guessing.
The gentle mother silently dreams and brings to her child a scent from the west wind shore. Then she quietly departs, and the only words her child hears is a prophecy of forlorn melancholy. The slumber of titans, the fragmented lullaby, the roar of the guards, all merge into a torrential black tide that carries the first demigod from the past to the future. And that was the beginning of this long dream. In this tiny room, she forged 20 years of her memories with time. Sometimes the child does not understand. The gates of worlds outside the window are so numerous. Yet, why can we not step within? And if one cannot leave the tower, what need is there to gaze into the distance via tomes?
Like, what need is there to read up if you can't leave this place?
Does not answer. Only using bedtime stories to once again gild another golden sheen of destiny to the Amphoreus of the child's dreams. Alas, the golden light of destiny cannot illuminate the shadows of power and greed. All it takes to rob the child of her only kin is a letter of dark conspiracy.
A letter of dark conspiracy.
The culprit thought the murder had no flaws, but was unaware that the lamb willingly stepped into the passage's dead end. Before the priest met her demise, the only thing her eyes contained was spite. Yet she leaves her final warmth and hope embroidered.
Is this talking about her mother, obviously, their mother?
Leaving them behind for her innocent.
And what happened to their mother? In terms of, remember they talked about the use for her mother and...
Sticks nightmares into the child's sleep, and the child hugs those dolls tight.
Because remember they were
At the
talking...
very least, we will never leave each other, right?
Oh my god, don't say that. But remember the people, the priests there, like, you know, they were misusing Trebios' mother.
Onyx softly sighs and carefully lifts the curtain of time, presenting a crystal given in libation to the brave before the doll holding a blade. The Titan loves this child born into sorrow, but has no power to erase impending tragedy in the morrow. Only can it dispel the evening wind of the palace, giving the child solace in sweet dreams.
So it can't erase anything that's going to happen?
The Titan's fading proclamation cannot pull back the string of the girl's destiny.
So it can't stop what's going to happen.
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle.
Yeah, that was the prophecy, wasn't it, as well?
Adorned with falling flowers, the children recall that prophecy beside their friend that has passed away. The girl had already passed through thousands of crossroads and continues to sail toward tomorrow. Oh, for that bright spot beyond is the end of the west wind, where flowers bloom in spring.
So that seemed to be kind of like talking about not only like what happened, I guess, like to me, what happened to their mother. But again, some of this stuff can get confused. Some of this stuff is like very clear and some of this stuff is very confusing. To me, what happened to her mother, and then also what happened to to me, what happened to her mother, and then also like the Titan's inability to erase any pain. It can't stop the destiny of Trebios, and no one can stop their destiny. Their destiny is that eventually there'll only be one of them left. There will be a fading away. We've seen that happen, that all these numbers have faded away. At least that's what I get from it, but again, I might reread it again because it can be kind of confusing sometimes. We have this one as well. which is the third one of this. And wait, did I mess that up? Don't tell me I messed it up. Did I mess it up, guys? How can I read those things again? Is there a way to read them again? To this? Oh, I can read them here. I can read them. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. So, I was going to try and read all of them today, but I think it's one of those things where my mind is just not going to be alert if I read all of them. Not because I'm not saying it's difficult to read all of them. I'm not being like, oh, like it's so difficult. I have to read all these words. I'm more saying just like, I feel like I'm not going to be as attentive if I do this. So again, we'll read the rest of them tomorrow because we actually only have 2 left. So we'll read the last 2 tomorrow in the next episode. So then, and that'll be easy. That'll be no problem whatsoever. It's because it's the same thing with the Titan stuff, guys. All these stories are really old, but I haven't had enough of them yet. I forgot to ask an important question, Stell. How old are you? Old as the world. You're teasing me again. So Stell grow gray and old, become an old granny. Now I'm curious. I want to see. I'm so happy at the moment I stepped into this world and met you, Stell. This way, every moment of my life has been recorded by you. Stell, if you ever write a book about me, I'll be a thick one. What is there for us to talk about? I already know everything. But my past is a crushing weight shrouded in darkness. There's no way I can remember everything? That would make me even happier. It means there's so many moments worth treasuring that you can't keep track of all. I shouldn't have said it to Mem, though, shouldn't I not? Close book. We'll remember Mem forever, 100%. Yeah, so I'm going to read the other 2 tomorrow. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to pace myself. It's the same thing with the Titan lore stuff, which we're going to be getting back to as well next week. Next week, we're going to do all the Titan lore, the last 3 remaining Titan lore. It's the pacing of it is so I don't get like, I'm not here like after like 5 of them just being like, okay, you know, what's the next one? I want to like actually like be alert. And even at the last one there, because we did so much in this episode already, I was kind of like feeling like this is hard to like, you know, grasp, I guess. So yeah, we'll do it that way, 100%. I'm not going to ever feel bad about pacing myself in the right way, 100%. But yeah, interesting stories. If you want to tell me your interpretations of those stories too, but I found it to be really, really interesting regardless. Because it seemed to be retelling stories of these characters' lives. And we're getting like drip fed them as well. And they seem to be interpretations of stuff we've already heard before, but in like a new way. Really, really cool stuff. So, this to me was a masterpiece in changing a tone and creating a new drama. This is what TV shows do if they're good TV shows. After one thing feels like something's been accomplished, it feels like something's been wrapped up. But they actually add a new drama to it and add a new injection of adrenaline into the similar storyline. It's the equivalent of like when you defeat one member of the leader of the gang and this season ends and you feel like, oh, they did it. And then it starts the next season with the first episode cliffhanger is somebody else has stepped up and they're way worse. You know what I mean? They're way worse than the last one. I feel like, you know, again, it's always like, I feel like what Honkai Star Rail does a lot of, and I think it's, you know, and a few people have confirmed that a lot of stuff can get confusing. For me, a lot of times Honkai Star Rail does this thing where they go like, as you see, and this is a bad example, as you see, this flower is the petunia flower, and by God, you know what that does, don't you? And another character goes, I guess this is the time that the petunia flowers will come back to life. And then I'm sitting there going, what's the significance? You know what I mean? Like, it's like they say something and like, I think that the significance gets explained more and more over time. But like for the first part, you're kind of left there going, what? Which again is good. They drip feed the story in a very, very well done way. And I actually think that the way that they like, you know, again did this with the cleaners, with the way they set up the drama of it. Because obviously, like, you know, there's like, I feel like we didn't get through a lot of like lore and information in this episode. But what did happen in this episode for me was like a big, it was drama. It was really great drama. It was a really great story and a really great way of doing things. I actually found it to be really fantastic. You know, to go through everything, we opened up with Stell reminiscing about the 4 people that they had lost. I think it's a very important part to talk about because it shows that this journey is going to be full of kind of like, you know, big consequences, and not even consequences, because consequences change over time, but I feel it's like more emotional goodbyes. This is a journey that is going to, you know, continue to have emotional goodbyes. And while it's something that you think you can get used to, we never will get used to it. we had a call from Cipher to help us like steal stuff, or like I guess help us like you know, was it what did she want again? She wanted us to come to Styxia, and then we'd kind of like separate stuff like and divide things up, you know, in between the two of us. And what's so interesting about her showing up here in this moment, and she decided to like show one of her powers off, where she pretended to be the Flame Reaver, no tact whatsoever. But I think that, like, you know, what the game was trying to show us is like she has this power, and like, you know, if you believe something fully, you know, with the power of, I guess, Zagreus as well, it can become something very, very true. But it wasn't something I think that she had that was intentionally trying to be like really awful or mean or brutal. It was just more of a case of just like, you know, it's Cipher being Cipher, and Cipher is being like kind of very hilarious and wanting to make people laugh, and not in a way. I know I'm sounding, I'm making it sound like she's really nice and like she's like, oh, I just want the whole world to laugh. But I think she wants to laugh. You know what I mean? She wants to laugh, I should say, not here wants to make the world laugh. But she loves getting a laugh out of these pranks and these jokes, and I think she likes, you know, playing with people as well. Which again, if you're talking about like a cat, they fit the personality of a cat so well. Not just with the water stuff, but the idea of being kind of like a little bit mischievous, a little bit weary of people. But also, when you have a cat that like really loves being playful, they will like randomly like jump on your back. They will randomly, you know, start kicking at your legs. They like, cats when they're mischievous love being mischievous, you know. And I think they really embodied that within Cipher here as well. We switched over to Phainon, where we were training with Phainon. I think what they tried to show us here is that we do have a relationship still with other Chrysos heirs, even though we lost the other Chrysos heirs in certain ways. We still have this like relationship with Phainon, and here Phainon looked like broken down. You can tell that he has a lot of pain still carried with him, and he's a lot of like frustrations carried with him. But he's very much like still powering on, and it's actually a very beautiful thing to see him like power on in this way. Even though it's like very hard to look at him kind of being kind of downtrodden, it's very clear that he is like, you know, trying his best to power on. And they decided to go read together. It was a very like lovely scene for me, because I think it was kind of this understanding between Phainon and Stell. I think they've become very close in their relationship, and I think that like they also realize, and we realize in this moment as well, that the two of them together have a very how do I say it? It's like they're the two ones left. I know Cipher's still there and Don Hung's still there, but I'm talking about in terms of like the ones who are like carrying core flames, I guess. They're like the two ones that are kind of there left, which is very interesting to me. Like if you think about it in that way, like Phainon, it's like had so many companions, and now in the space of a few weeks, those people that were in his life are no longer there. It's a very, very hard thing to deal with. And I should say, I thought it happened after this, but it happened before this. The stuff with Don Hung is pretty crazy too. Like the stuff with Don Hung is pretty crazy, and this also had a drama to it. This is where the start of the drama happened, so we obviously should start there. Don Hung took Lygus to the site of his crash and basically showed him what could happen here. Lygus said, I can repair this and get you out of here quicker. I have ways of getting you out of this place. And we know this to be true because he blocked Herta from leaving this place, right? Or for entering into this place. But for some reason he said, I could definitely get you out of here. And he has his own interests. He didn't say exactly what his interests were. He didn't say exactly what he wanted, but he did say he was neutral in this situation. Don Hung basically kind of like wouldn't accept it, because I think very rightly so. You have to be weary of anybody offering you a pile of gold for, you know, it's like it's too good to be true, and also at the same time too, then it's also Don Hung acknowledges, just as Stella acknowledges, Trailblazers don't abandon their friends. They don't abandon the people they love. So these are the people we love now. We have grown to attach to all these characters. We've grown attached to Hyacinth. We've grown attached to Tribi, to Cipher, to Phainon, to Aglaea. These are people we care about now, to Midamos, to all these characters. I'm glad he said this, because I think it shows that, like, you know, once again, because I think nobody has ever said this, but I think it's easy for originally to interpret Don Hung as like he seems very cold at the start, but that's because he had so much like emotions in him from the stuff that Xian showed. He had so many things that had followed him. Even Welch said this from the start. But you see here, like post Xian show and post Penacony and post Xian show into Penacony into Amphoreus, one of the things I love that they show with Don Hung now, he's very openly caring and loving now. while before he showed it in like his own certain ways, his own Dan Heng ways, I feel like once he like at least came to terms with the fact, because what happened to Dan Heng was he carried this pain with him for years, felt guilty for years with the stuff that Dan Feng did, and now that he knows he has these people, and they showed that in the story quest for Jing Liu, it's like they showed that now that he has all these people that loves him, Stell, March, all these people, he's able to come to terms with it, and he's now more loving and open. He's always been loving and caring, but I want to make that clear. But now he's more open to it. So him openly declaring like, I am not going to leave my friends, is like it's what Dan Heng has always felt, but he's way more open about it now. He's way more like, I'm not hiding those feelings. I'm not being cold. I'm not acting cold. I'm not trying to hide anything. But obviously, Lygus here's what the thing is now, the idea of neutrality, right? Because Lygus was there when the cleaners showed up. Now, is he working with the cleaners? You were led to believe he would be working with the cleaners because they showed up in that moment, right? The cleaners, which you found out later, are a group of Chrysos Heir's hunters that have been dormant for a long time. That basically like are a way in their own eyes of stopping the Chrysos Heirs from being corrupt in this world and stopping them from gaining power in this world. So we're led to believe that Lygus is working with these cleaners. And if, as later on we saw as well, like directly, we know that Kindness is working with the cleaners too. If it is a case where, and I'm saying this right now, I'm giving Lygus the benefit of the doubt because I truly believe he's a smart character. But it's also a thing, if you say you're neutral and you're working with Kindness, let's say he's working with Kindness with the cleaners, that's not neutrality. Even if it's in your own self-interest, you are helping someone directly. If you go to war for one side of a country, that's not neutral, even if it is for your own self-interest. You are helping one side directly, right? It's not neutrality if he ends up working with the cleaners and Kindness is working with him at the same time. That's not neutrality. Even if it is something that benefits him only, like if he's only working for his own self-interest, I want to make it clear, he has to deal with the consequences of his quote-unquote neutrality then, But these cleaners showed up, and Dan Heng becomes the coolest action hero you've ever seen. Like, James Bond, like, started quivering, He basically at first says, like, what was the line he said? Are you going to help if I get into a scuffle with these guys? And Lygus goes, nope. As if, because he thought he meant that, hey, I'm talking about, you helping me. But in the end, Dan Heng then turns around and he goes, oh my god, it's so freaking cool what he says. Like, I didn't mean I want you to help myself. You know what I mean? Are you going to help these guys? He's so freaking cool. I think what they've done really well is in Amphoreus is that they ripped the band-aid off with a bunch of characters here. They know that the story of Honkai Star Rail is a brutal story. And I think it's they've always had like very brutal aspects to the story, but sometimes I feel like they've always like dwelled into the idea of the characters being like hyper heroic sometimes, whereas in the past, like you might have a character still try to maintain like the kind of like moral high ground of being like I gotta like still maintain my composure. But more and more over the course of Honkai Star Rail, not just Amphoreus, I've noticed that characters more and more have been like a little bit more vicious, a little bit more aggressive, and that's good. It's a good thing because it's one thing to have a character be very kind and polite, but when you're in a situation where people are trying to kill you, Dan Heng, if in that moment, could have been like, very well, let's get this started. And that's, yeah, okay, cool. But him being like, these guys are going to need a freaking help. You're going to need to get them a doctor, call an ambulance, but not for me. I love that aspect. I love that he's a little more cheeky, a little more aggressive. It's awesome. And we saw that later with like Aglaea telling, Kindness to jump off a bridge. Like, and at least that's what I thought she was saying. While it's one of those situations where like, I would never say that to somebody, of course, 100%. But in this case, this is a vicious murderer who is trying to like, ruin the entirety of Amphoreus and even threaten to kill a bunch of people. I kind of like that Aglaea has this vicious streak. Phainon says to the cleaners later, I'll rip out your tongue. Like, I like that they have this streak in them that's not just like... I want to make this like perfectly clear when I say this. I don't think that this is just an Amphoreus thing, because I think that like, complicated characters and interesting characters like this have always been a thing in Honkai Star Rail. Like we just came from freaking Penacony, for example. We just came from the Quintet in Xian Shou. We've always had complicated characters, but I'm not talking about just complicated. I love that in Amphoreus, a lot of the characters love hard and they hate hard. I love it. They love when they love, they love. When they have hatred, they don't really hide it. You know what I mean? There's no like, because again, and that's different character designs, right? Like, Adventurine is one of the best characters in Honkai Star Rail, but he's not going to openly say stuff like this, the way that he's not gonna openly be like, I'm gonna rip out your tongue, I hope you jump off this thing or whatever, you know what I mean? He's not gonna openly say that, but that's what makes his character different. Amphoreus has characters that like hate. When they are aggressive, they are aggressive. When they love, they are the most loving characters. When they're sorry, they're the most sorry characters. And that's when I say the place is romantic. Emotions in Amphoreus are turned up to 20. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, it's almost like, you had the characters are nuanced, but when it comes to like their feelings and their expressions, I kind of like that they don't dip their toes halfway into it. If you have lovable Phainon, you're getting, the best hug you've ever got in your life. If you have Phainon that doesn't like you, he's telling you he's going to rip out your tongue. You know what I mean? He's telling you he's going to do that. I also have to say that because I think that, the internet sometimes has a thing where it's like, the whole thing, if you like pancakes, you hate waffles. The characters in Amphoreus wouldn't always say this stuff directly to you, not all of them, but they have their own nuances, right? Like, Aventurine is an interesting character because he's Aventurine and his nuances. Whereas Phainon's an interesting character because of what I just said there, like the obviously the pain that he holds in his heart, the history that he holds in his heart, but also his emotions and the way he expresses them is so Amphoreus to me. You know what I mean? It's so Amphoreus in a lot of ways. But yeah, the cleaners showed up. They have Chrysos golden blood all over their face. They are hunters of the Chrysos heirs, and the way they made them show up was such a fantastic way of doing this. They had them show up right in front. By the way, Dan Hong, we don't know what happened with Dan Hong, but we do know that he's like in trouble. They showed up for Dan Hong. They showed up then for Stel, Mem, and for Phainon, and they said that they are going to kill him. Like, this is, make no bones about it. This wasn't a thing where they were like, oh, like, we're going to kidnap you. They said, like, we're going to use our knives in this sense. I might keep that in or I might not. Probably not. It was a company that I ordered something from, and they were like, lovely polite person on the phone, give me like it's actually really well done service. They were like saying, hey, like, you can choose your delivery day and your time, very efficient, really, really cool. But yeah, what was I talking about? The stuff with the cleaners and the cleaners showing up. The cleaners are planning to kill these characters. That's what they want to do. And I actually think it's like a really, like, again, in terms of the lore, we didn't learn everything about the cleaners. We learned that they were like a faction that has been like a bit dormant, that they both have different views. Like the Chrysos heirs have a view of them as just being cold-blooded killers, while as the cleaners see themselves as kind of like more heroes, right? And I feel like that happens all the time in history. You'll have a group of people that are seen as villains and a group of people that think themselves as heroes. The best villains think themselves as heroes, you know what I mean? It's always that way, which is why kindness is so powerful too. She genuinely thinks that she's in the right here, in a lot of ways too. But it is like, again, another incredibly dramatic, and I say the way they built this up, they show up to Phainon, they show up to Dan Hong. Who are these guys? What are they doing? They fade to black. They show up to Phainon and Stel. Oh my god, this is a bigger problem. Oh no, like they're showing up to these guys too, and now they're like being more like aggressive with them. And then they do something else after this. It's just so well done. It's so well done. Kratos walks up to Hyacinth and Tribi. There's Aglaea is in trouble. There's been destruction everywhere. There's been theft in places. Absolutely incredible stuff, honestly. And the reason why it's so well built there is because there's this rising drama from the whole parts. It's like, oh, the cleaners are here for Dan Hong. Okay. Wait, no, they're not just here for Dan Hong. They're here for, oh my god. Wait, what is Kratos saying? How is Aglaea in trouble? Did the cleaners get to her too? There's this rising drama that they do that's so perfect. It builds this drama in your heart. You get tense. I was angry and tense by the end of that conversation with Kindness and Aglaea, and it's so well done in that way. Kratos even mentions in a very interesting way too. He says like, hey, like she's also been slipping a bit. And we know that Anaxagoras also said that her soul is thin. So the story that they're trying to tell here is it Aglaea's time to let go and maybe give the world up to Phainon maybe? Maybe let Phainon take over? I think not. I think that like Aglaea still has a lot left to give in my opinion, but we'll see where that story goes, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, they add this drama to it, so now we're running towards Aglaea, and that's when the cleaners and Kindness shows up. Perfect characterization of a villain in Kindness. The most frustrating character in all of Amphoreus. A character who lost but still comes back clawing as a sore loser. They never planned to lose in the first place at all. And they're spouting all this stuff. They're talking about how They still believe Aglaea doesn't care about the people. They still believe Aglaea doesn't care about Amphoreus. They've convinced themselves that Aglaea is a witch who is this horrible person, when in reality we know Aglaea is not a terrible person. We know this. We're not stupid. But to her, this is what this is. And she said she's not going to fight Aglaea right now, but she tried to get in Aglaea's head by saying, like, you are weaker than you used to be. You are way weaker than you used to be. You didn't notice that we were planning this right under your nose. They showed also a clip of her, like, when she helped the little girl when she got that talisman. I wonder if that talisman was a plant. It was a plant. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm thinking, like, too into this. I don't know. But it was a very dramatic scene where I was, like, supporting Aglaea so much. And Aglaea, like, you know, said some great points. If you think I don't care about the people, which is why he shows kindness is not actually just, like, she doesn't care at all. Kindness, if you think I don't care about these people, then why would you use them as hostages? How does that work? Aglaea has to admit she's wrong to make her plan work. Because the thing, it's like one of those things. It's like if you went to any world leader and said, like, "Hey, I'm going to literally destroy this person in your town if you don't do what I say," and you would find out they didn't care very quickly if they went, whatever. Who cares? You know? Really. I don't know. It's just really tense and really dramatic and really like anger-inducing like scene for me where I was like so frustrated with kindness, and I think that's the intention, is to be like, this character is evil. And they set up these cleaners as a way to like use their knives and use force to end this Chrysos heir reign, even though they won in this democracy. But as Kratos said, it was Kratos who said this, the vote wasn't won by, it was won by one. And throughout any amount of history, we know this to be true, by the way. In Ireland, we know this to be true. If you like, it's like any democracy. How many times in democracy do you see like, 54 million people voted for this, 50 million people voted for this, and you can say, well, the people decided. It's like, yeah, but 50 million of half of the people, nearly half of the people did not want this to happen. And that's what's so crazy about, like, you know, because democracy is the best option we have, right? It is. Like, I want to make this clear. F monarchies, right? But like, it's also like those things where like sometimes with votes, it can be landslides. Like our presidential election was a landslide in Ireland. It was a landslide. So you can be like, the people wanted her. But in other places, it's like one of those things where like, it's always divided. It's always like, oh, well, the people decided this. And it's like, well, by like what? By like 5 million people, by 10 million people, which is a lot of people. I want to make that clear. It's a lot of people, but you know what I mean? It's like, in this case, one person decided the fate of everything. So there will be unrest with that. There will be like, well, why does he get to decide this? Even though that's what democracy kind of is. So it's a really well done thing that they're actually having this thing where like, there's like a pushback, because it makes sense. It makes sense that there's unrest. It makes sense that kindness wouldn't just give up with this. And I love what Aglaea says. Anaxagoras embarrassed you in front of everyone, and you should just give up. She says something very vicious. Why don't you just like throw yourself off there, like to save yourself the drama at this point? But kindness like is so, I think, lost in her mind that she is just hell bent on ruining Aglaea. And it's interesting that they bring up the idea of Aglaea fading away, because they've done that 3 times now. Kratos has said she's not as sharp as she used to be. Anaxagoras has noticed that her soul is thinned, and now kindness is mentioning that she's also like not as powerful as she used to be. I think this is going to be the story or the crux of this whole chapter. We also had the stuff with Cipher. Cipher, as a kid, is adorable. And she met Aglaea, and she had the story about trading this gem for some boots. I'm sure we'll get the moral more often when we go forward. But now she's in with Bartholos exploring Sixia. I'm sure we're going to learn more about Cipher in the next while for sure. But it was a really cute scene, and honestly a very funny scene at the same time too. It shows how far they went back. But also Aglaea, if I can see this here now, Aglaea. If I'm not mistaken, Aglaea, she said something about. Yeah, the lost your eyes thing was interesting to me. You know how better it feels to lose your sight. Imagine thousands of years ago, you already blind, and also lost your voice and hearing youth. Can someone explain what you think this means? Is it saying that you had an advantage going into this? And then Cipher kind of like, sorry, not Cipher, yeah. So here's another part of it too. Yeah, she's saying you can't even peer into my thoughts anymore. We overestimated your cunning. She says you're not as smart as you used to be. There's one particular line here. In these 1,000 years, I've witnessed the fall of 10 titans, from my naive arrogance at the beginning to slowly learning how to guide others. Now it's time to let go. I should be grateful. Grateful that I've reached this moment, to let my departure become the path for others to follow. So she's trying, maybe saying she's going to be a martyr. It's like they can follow in her footsteps. And probably she means Phainon would take over. So it's, have I done enough to embrace the prophecy and sink into the warmth of these waters? So she's asking as well, have I become enough? Have I done enough to on this planet to actually warrant me feeling I'm able to move on? She's asking like, and she has done so much, but does she feel like she's done enough? Here's what she said. Will the wandering wind stop to mourn me, Cipher? Right? So she's talking about Cipher here. Is she genuinely asking the question of like, why will I be remembered? Will people remember me fondly? I wonder. Will I be remembered fondly, or will I be remembered in a bad way, or whatever? This is the other part as well. They said with the Celios, the day. Yeah, I think we can read this at any point. And honestly, like I don't think that's gonna be like too benefit. Like I think we can come back to that for sure, right? That part there, or maybe you guys will tell me to read it next time. But I think it's one of those things that's important to have, but it's also we'll go back on it as well. Yeah, so Cipher and Aglaea's relationship is obviously going to come up again. It's always going to be very, very important. They've known each other for a very long time. But it seemed like Aglaea in that moment was kind of like feeling like, is this my time? Have I done enough? I don't even know what's going to happen now. You know what I mean? Have I done? And the whole thing of have I done enough is so sad because she's been, again, as she said herself, dragging her corpse to the finish line. And now her finish line might be forced upon her. And she's asking the question, looking back, have I been able to do enough? It's very sad. It's a very sad mentality to have, because she's a character that's so front-facing confident because she has to be. When she fails in front of somebody and, you know, she's had her thin soul exposed and she knows for a fact that other people are noticing that she's also like lost her touch in some ways. It can have you asking these questions, I bet, 110%.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
But that's why I'm thinking here, guys. Like, I know I've talked for a bit there, but I think the whole cleaner stuff is such an interesting part of the story. The whole stuff with Aglaea and Kindness was such a great bit of tension. And then, of course, Aglaea, like, instantly questioning herself is such, like, a very dramatic part as well. So, like, summarize, like, all my feelings on this. I really feel that, like, we're going to get like first of all, we're getting a really great dramatic injection into the story once again with the cleaners. It's terrifying. It's interesting. I want to know more. We have the intentions of Lygus, who are still kind of hidden. Is Dan Hong going to be safe? The way they built up the cleaners is so well done. The drama between Kindness and Aglaea is still so aggressive and so out there. And really, I feel like Aglaea's story is going to come down to, in my opinion, so far anyway, as does she think that her weakening state is a detriment to the world here, or is it a benefit? Does she still have something to offer this world? And that's, again, it's such a sad question to ask yourself, but it's a question she's probably is asking herself. Do I have the power to do this? Do I have, and again, it's not just do I have the power, but also like, is it fair for me to keep doing this if I have failed in this way? Because this is, in anyone's eyes, not the usual Aglaea. She let this happen under her nose? How? That's not like Aglaea. They were doing this in the Dramas area, which is like, you know, a short walk from where Aglaea usually stands. But I think her questioning herself actually showcases that she is like a strong character and a good person, because I think that because the likes of Kindness wouldn't question themselves in this way. I think Aglaea questioning herself shows that she actually has a lot of introspection and she can look into herself and kind of feel like, you know, question herself, even though I hope that she keeps going. I think she has a lot to offer, but we'll see what happens. Very, very cool story. Guys, if you want to see these videos early, it's a €1 or $1.50 on YouTube members, which is joined down below. Helps out a lot. Or Patreon, which also helps out a lot too. And you get these videos early. This video came out Tuesday. And if you want to get your name in the credits, it's €10 or whatever it is in your currency. And that's in Patreon or YouTube members scrolling by right now. And the same thing, if you want to get your name read out, it's €15 or whatever that is in your currency. And that's the highest tier of Patreon. So I want to say thank you to the highest tier on Patreon for being so cool and so awesome. And thank you so much for my patrons and YouTube members being so supportive. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you to Typharo 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix, Yuled, Anusta, Yisassin. Typharo 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Liam, High Kasperian, Jared Beanham, Neo Showerite, Leah 200, Malcolm Kunde, and the YouTube tiers. Thank you, the highest of the YouTube tiers. Thank you so much to Roygerma7, Flasco, and Lucinagi. See you guys soon. Bye bye.
Yeah.